You're not going to sip?
You got to do the whole deal.
Yeah. Have you not listened before? There it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to WeNeedWrestling. I'm DJ. Over there is Brett, as I point into the ether.
Hello.
And the person who brought the can to the table for us is Tatum.
Hi, boys.
The world famous Tatum from the world famous Wings on Wings podcast.
Let's go, Tatum.
Tatum is kind enough to join us this week. She's been here before. She is our co-host on Wings on Wings. And she's here because I'm full of COVID. Yeah. And I needed somebody to carry the weight, my weight of this show, instead of having Brett carry it every week like I normally do.
Oh boy.
I figured I'd bring somebody else in to help. And because big exciting news is that Tatum went to her first ever wrestling show this week.
I did. And I was so excited.
Bummed that I missed that, but very excited that you got to do it live from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Beautiful Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
The home of many infamous wrestling catastrophes, such as Vince McMahon's limo exploding, debut of Big T in WCW.
You're damn right.
Among other things, I'm sure Wilkes-Barre is legendary.
I'm pretty sure that's where Scott Steiner hit somebody with a duck.
Okay. That was Columbus, Ohio, sure. I thought.
I don't know. What else has happened in Wilkes-Barre that's cool wrestling-wise? Yeah, Big T slapping his butt cheeks at people.
That's right.
That was great.
Yeah.
There was that 70s guy segment with Mike Awesome in WCW on an episode of Thunder from the Arena.
That's legendary right there.
So that's super legendary.
These are all words that make no sense to Tatum. They're just random jumbles.
Like if I was good with like, I don't know, clipping things, I was gonna do like a big thread yesterday about like fun Wilkes-Barre wrestling moments. But then I was also like, I have to work and read comics too. So
that's right.
I was like, yep.
Yeah, you're a nerd.
I'm all caught up.
But I was gonna say, so I did miss Wilkes-Barre because of COVID. But Brett, Tatum, how are you, pals? What's going on? How's things? Give everybody the scoops.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm great as well. I don't know. It's been quiet this week. Just chilling. I've finally like caught up on sleep, so I'm not walking around like a zombie, or like falling asleep during the day, which is I hate doing. But we're all good, man.
Good.
Zero complaints over here. I feel great.
Good.
Now, in the past 2 weeks, I have finished moving, gotten 2 kittens, gotten my son his driver's license and his first tattoo, and went to my first live wrestling. So my life has been pretty eventful.
That's a huge week.
I love
plus, I run a business.
Yeah. You guys are both feeling okay? Because we got COVID from the concert we were all at. Well, Michelle did, and then spread it. But deathly afraid of you guys getting something also. So thankfully nobody did. Incredible show, though. So it was worth it for me, even though it did cost me money because I missed another show and then a wrestling show. But
yeah, no, we were good. I didn't go to the show with you guys, but my kid did.
Yes, correct.
You guys are so amazing. Thank you for taking him to that.
Yeah,
he said that it was one of the best shows that he's been to, and I think you guys said it was one of the best shows of them that you've been to.
Yeah, I had a great time. Yeah, he was crazy. You got a good kid, so it's pretty easy to bring him around. But he was like the first person to know somebody when we got there.
Oh yeah, that was my best friend Daria.
Yep. And
we met in a mosh pit when we were 15 years old, and we've been friends ever since. And she has a daughter who's a month older than Gavin.
Nice.
Who's coming to town to stay with us in a couple of weeks to go to a show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, I mean, Gavin and I went up to the pit, and it was insane. And I was up in the front throwing people, including Gavin, to the security all night.
I saw a few videos of him crowd surfing.
Yep. It's out there, and he was having a good time. So it was a ton of fun. Dare I say worth the COVID, for me at least. I won't speak for Michelle. But yeah, one of the best shows, one of the most fun I've had in a long time. I'm a broken down old man, but it was nice to be up in the shit, if you will.
Yeah.
But all right. Now that Marcus's favorite segment, banter, is over. Shout out Marcus, over there on Final Wrestling Place.
My guy's on vacation right now.
Is he?
Full of boardwalk pizza, hopefully.
All right. Well, there you go. But you wanna get into brass tacks? Does anybody have any pro wrestling news they want to talk about?
No. I'm trying to think of where to bring this up. I mean, I can't think of another place, honestly, to bring this up.
Okay.
So you could play the Ed jingle if you'd like.
Oh, geez. All right. Ed jingle. Wow.
이제 이번 주에 에드 코디 질문입니다.
Okay. What's Ed got?
Perfect.
Okay, before you ask the
Ed
question,
do?
I need to know, is that once?
That, as far as I know, is a David Kincannon original.
Oh, okay.
That is. Yeah, that's a Dwicky.
Yes, and they're called
Dwicky.
twice. Ed's yelling at you. Their
I'm
names-
sorry.
yeah.
They're called twice.
You're a once
Yeah.
because if you love them once, they love you twice.
Okay, so
Yes,
Ed is a
that's
once.
Exactly.
And one of them's
Ed
a
is
Nazi.
once.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed, I am so sorry. I will get this right once.
Don't be sorry. Fuck Che Young. We don't fuck with Che Young.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's a Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh. Never mind.
We don't like her. So Ed asks, "Hey there, friends. 2-part question. Number one.
Ed, keep it to one from now on, please. Jeez.
Number
But
one.
just this once, we will let you do a 2-parter.
Right, just this time.
And since you are a once, you could do this. Number one, to steal a Joe saying, did Mick Foley eat his chocolate bunny this week?
Yes, the whole thing.
DJ, how privy are you to this?
I saw it where he defended. He said that he's not going to let the stuff that Vince McMahon may or may not have done affect his memories.
Yeah.
That's the part that may or may not have done.
Yeah.
You can have your memories.
Right. I've been thinking about this, and even when people first brought it up, because like I love Mick. We all love Mick. Mick's had his issues. He stopped touring with that porn star for a little while, but
yeah, when his daughter had to publicly call him out about it,
shame him from on his main social media, just liking and interacting with the porn stars that he enjoyed. But I was thinking about it, right? Because like I've known some bad people in my life. Some could say that I allegedly, I did work at a punk club and help build a punk club with a guy who owned it that is maybe not in favorable position, and I don't know where all that stands, so I'll say allegedly, but people who know, and I still cherish those memories with him.
Right,
not him right, and I think what you saying, the fact that everybody still seems to sort of be wishy-washy on whether or not Vince was a good person is really weird, because he's not. The Janelle Grant stuff is like the top, the cherry on top of a shitty life. So that's really the indicator that makes it tough. I don't think there's a bad idea having memories about bad people before you knew they were bad, or before they were actually bad or publicly bad or whatever. you know, if that was the case, I'd have like no memories of my childhood. But it's the fact that you have to come to terms with someone you love has done horrible things. And you could still even maybe have love for them, but you have to understand and confront the fact that they did these horrible things, and maybe you didn't see it when it was happening, but he's a bad person.
Right.
It sucks. It's, I wish people would just take the Bret Hart stance. I mean, really, I wish people would just take Bret Hart stance on pretty much everything.
Correct.
And just say, like, no, fuck him. He's a scumbag, terrible person for this.
Right.
Like, you're allowed to say that. You're not going to lose money. People aren't going to turn their backs on you. And, we know wrestlers, at the end of the day, the dollar is what speaks to them.
Right.
You're not going to lose public favor, guys. It's okay. You could say what you want to say.
Right. Him and Brucey aren't starting a new promotion. They're not pitching to Fox. They're not, like, Vince is done.
Yeah, it's not going to cost you a booking, brother.
Right.
Like, you can be critical. It's okay. Unless in your heart of hearts you don't believe what has been alleged of him to be wrong, then that's a you problem.
Yes. Mick didn't take like the Mark Henry stance on this, which is definitely full bunny eradication. Tatum, you don't even know this, but Mark Henry, former wrestler who got let go of AEW recently, legend, former world's strongest man, on his Sirius XM radio show said that like Janelle Grant was certainly fine with the things Vince was doing when she was getting paid, so she should be fine with them now.
Oh.
Yep.
That is Bunny and all future Bunny eradicating. Mick.
Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate, and I wish some of these old guys would just shut their mouths.
Yep.
But they can't, and
They can't.
it just sucks because like you said, DJ, I love Mick. Mick's one of my favorite of all time.
Yep.
What a bummer.
Yeah, and he's a guy who the biggest hit is that he's such an advocate for RAINN, and all sort of charities raising for victims and survivors of sexual abuse and sexual violence, and like he's just okay with it. Just I don't know. They're if they weren't weird and were able to shut their mouths, they never would have made it as professional wrestlers, because you have to be a carny scumbag to be a professional wrestler at the level Mick Foley's of the world made it to.
Very true.
Mick just seemed like one of the better ones, and maybe he still is. They are tough feelings. I'm willing to give him like a rabbit's foot and hope that gives him enough sense and good luck to speak up and be like, hey, I was an idiot there. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I think that then begs the question, if he is such an advocate for all of these things.
Yes.
But he's willing to publicly say these things about Vince McMahon. Is he really an advocate, or does he do those things to like kind of wash the guilt of the knowing?
It's certainly a valid question.
This is I'm asking this as a person,
right?
A new person coming into this world.
I don't. So Mick's been out of the inner Vince circle, if he was ever in it, for a very long time now. A lot of the Janelle Grant stuff is newer than Mick's career. More recent than Mick's career on top. But Vince has spent the last 40 years being a dirtbag. I mean, before Mick, Vince took a briefcase of money into a police station to get a guy off of a murder. So like Vince has never been a great person. It's just a weird carny pro wrestling brotherhood that allows it to happen. I wouldn't ever think Mick would have known beforehand.
Right.
But the Reign stuff, it certainly could have been Mick trying to quietly make penance, in some way. But I don't know, at least on the core Janelle Grant stuff, that's been like way past Mick being in the company, really, as other than just like a legend, sort of like, hey, here's Mick Foley, let's wheel him out for a Raw to get a pop.
Right.
So.
Okay.
You agree with that, Brett? That about right?
Yeah, I mean, Mick's done a lot of good things for a lot of charities and people that are less fortunate. So that type of stuff, like, it's hard to overlook.
Right.
But when you do say stupid shit, don't be surprised when people point at you and say, hey, man, that's pretty dumb. Why are you saying this?
Right.
Again, it doesn't discount the good that he did.
No.
Or has done, but
Mm-mm.
it does make people look at you a little side-eyed now, which you open your mouth and you say stuff like that, and if people look at you side-eyed, don't get mad about it. And not saying that he's even seen a response to anything, but
right.
It's just very hey guy, what are you doing?
Well, and there is sadly a large section of the wrestling community that also doesn't give a shit and also puts Vince on a pedestal. You see people still lining up and paying hundreds of dollars for Hulk Hogan autographs and meet and greets.
Sure. Yeah.
And like Hulk Hogan is an admitted racist. He said it into a camera on the audio recording, I'm a little bit racist. Like, he's a bad guy. And like I saw a thing just yesterday where somebody paid $500 for to sit at a table. It was $500 a person at this table, and you got his beer, and Hulk Hogan was going to do a meet and greet with you. And he completely no-showed them and just never showed up for the meet and greet part. And everybody's like, yeah, well, you went into business with a dirtbag. I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
But, it's tough. A lot of the wrestling world doesn't think in the way the discussion we're having, sadly. So it's tough. But I will say, because I brought it up, I think it's a good time. Because if Mick's gonna be like that, RAINN.org, RAINN.org, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. They are the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. RAINN with 2 N's.org. They also have a confidential 24/7 sexual assault hotline that you can call, which is 800-656-4673. So we can do at least a little bit of that and get that out there, because there is ways to help, and there is ways to get out of the situation you're in, as hard as it may be. So Mick can say all the dumb things he wants. RAINN is still out there doing the work. So
that is true.
That is true. And can I just say, before we move on to the next question, how proud I am to be friends with and podcast mates with you guys, because you would have had this conversation the same way whether I was here or not. So
exactly.
God, I love you guys.
I love you too. Brett and I are pretty honest guys, and I know it sounds very humble of me to say that about myself. But I think if anybody who knows us know that we rarely suffer fools. Yeah. And if you want an honest opinion, like if you want to get lied to, don't ask us.
Right. That's why I love you guys so much.
It's just not how that works. So I only lie to the people I don't give a shit about. So but,
that's a fact.
That's just the way it is. And whatever you think about Mick Foley or anybody, there are things out there. So that's what it is.
That's true. Second part of Ed's question.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A two-parter, Ed?
Parter.
What's your favorite board game? I got to get drunk and play Sorry recently, and it ruled. Best board game of all time.
I'm
Tatum,
not like...
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Tatum. We'll let you start. You're the guest.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I knew that we were recording this on Skype, and I do have my video up.
Oh. I can put it up for people.
I have my two favorite board games right beside me, But this one, it's called Hues and Clues, which I think, DJ, we talked about this because only super nerdy art school kids like us can really appreciate this. And it's basically like a board of different hues of different colors, but it's like over 300 colors, and you say like one word and people put down their piece on what they think that means, and whoever gets the closest gets certain amounts of points based on where they are in a square.
Okay.
And I absolutely love it. And the other one is also an art one. It is called Bob Ross Happy Little Accidents.
Oh my God.
And everybody kind of draws a little squiggle and like whatever, a little abstract thing. And then you pass it to somebody else, and then you set a timer and people pull a card and you try to draw something based off of the squiggle, and then you vote on each other's thing. And I love that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I knew Hues and Cues existed. I did not know the Bob Ross one did.
Yeah.
I haven't played either. Hues
I'll
and
bring
Cues.
them up the next time, but I know that Brett loves Dirty Dancing, the board game.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's my number one.
Michelle would hate Hues and Cues because she yells at me all the time about me telling colors apart, and she's like, they're the same color, so she would hate that game.
Yeah.
But
you and I would absolutely dominate, though.
Yeah, I have very good color vision, thankfully. Brett, you're next, buddy.
What would be my favorite? I like playing Pandemic Call of Cthulhu.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite.
I love the Pandemic games, absolutely.
It's so much fun to play, especially because like when it's super hard and like pretty much impossible to win, but you pull one out and you feel great.
Yeah, that Tatum is. I don't know if
that's probably my number one.
Do you ever play a Pandemic game, Tatum?
No, I haven't. Well, I mean, just that one that we did the live action role play for.
Yeah, that was tough. Pandemic was a lot more fun before the actual pandemic, but the regular Pandemic game is you are stopping viruses globally, but then they adapted it into Cthulhu where you're fighting cultists and old gods.
Right.
But it's a cooperative board game that you are designed to lose.
Oh, okay.
You win maybe one every 3 times you play it.
Yep.
We've lost in 3 turns.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It crushes you. So does the regular Pandemic, but Cthulhu's harder. It's awesome.
I can imagine it would be.
Yeah, we'll play that up here too. Brett, anything else?
I love it. No, it's probably my number one.
I love the Pandemic games. I really like Sorry's cool because you get to screw people over. Like, you know, if you remember playing Sorry, that's why Ed likes it, because you can send people back to start or whatever. I like, because we haven't played in a while, but like I like Munchkin. Munchkin's a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, I bought that after we played the one time.
It's a card game more than a board game, but it's fine. But I'm gonna bring up Book It because it's podcast appropriate also.
Sure.
Book It, Tatum, is a game that we have that we play that I have the new edition coming relatively soon. Not quite done yet, but it is a wrestling board game where you are the booker and you have to like hire talent and book cards and get the highest rated card and make the most money. And you're competing against the people around you. But like it's random, like you have to buy the talent out of a pool, and then the matches are like kind of random unless you're lucky. Like there's a lot of cool parts to it. We play that a ton. Even Michelle likes that game.
That sounds awesome. Actually, I'm in.
So we're gonna play that too now that you're a wrestling fan. And like all the wrestlers in it are like parodies of other wrestlers. So there's like Jane Sienna instead of John Cena, and like it's like this guy makes any art. It has a really good art, and it's like there's Japanese wrestlers, ECW wrestlers, hardcore wrestlers, you know, tons of current WWE guys. It's a lot of fun. So we played that a lot, and there was a new edition coming out that's integrating tag teams into it. So that's a ton of fun. And I also just like Clue. Clue is a good, fun board game.
Clue is a good board game.
Yeah. And we do have the Dirty Dancing board game. That does exist. But it's a lot of
I did play it one night with Brett and Doug.
Yeah, it's a lot of singing and dancing, a lot of stage shows, carrying watermelons. But
Yeah.
I put my balls on Doug's leg during that game.
nice.
It's true, and I don't have any photographic or video evidence,
You're damn right you don't.
Yeah.
but it was the night that Brett and Doug and I solidified our friendship.
It's true.
That is true. The bond was made that night.
Yeah, for
Where
sure.
were Michelle and I? What were we at?
Yeah, I don't know, some concert, I think.
Some
Yeah.
concert.
You guys were just at our house.
You're damn right.
Playing
The way
board
it's meant
games.
to be.
I'm gonna hang out with your pets.
It's true.
Yeah.
Ended up fucking around and having 2 new best friends.
There you go.
Aw, that's adorable.
But yeah, Ed, thanks. I guess that's it, right? I don't have anything else. Don't play the Big Trouble in Little China game as much as I want to play it again.
Oh my god.
That took forever. It's probably fun if you're a genius to decipher it. But that was tough. But the board's really nice and the figures are really cool. But Dominion. Dominion is also a good game. But anyway, these are a lot of card games more so than there's a board, but it's not like moving pieces like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Is Scrabble a board game? Because I'm a Scrabble nerd.
Yeah. Michelle's
Scrabble's a
mom
board game.
is really good at Scrabble, so much so that I accuse her of cheating.
Yeah.
And if you know Bren, you would think I was lying to you, but I'm not.
I do know Bren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very good at Scrabble. She will kick your ass, wipe the floor with you, no mercy.
All right.
Good for Bren.
She has like the Diamond Edition, where like the board is up on the thing, so it spins, so it's like on an axis, so you can spin it to the person whose turn it is. And like
we have that, but we also have like a solid wood built one that's on a spinner with like the drawers that pull out that everything stores inside of.
Yeah. This is plastic, but everything slides into the drawers and stuff. So yeah, she's a cutthroat. I'll tell you that.
Love it.
But that's it. That's all for Ed. Everybody's good with Ed's 2-parter for this week only.
Thank you, Ed. You're the best.
Thank you, Ed.
Any other news? I do have a piece.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
All right. So I Googled the news, and nothing of import came up at all until I saw this. Bible stories come to life in Salvation Pro Wrestling ring. And I was like, well, what is this? And then I saw that it was from today of the Williamsport Sun Gazette from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is an hour and a half from where I sit just about currently, maybe a little longer than that. For Williamsport's Joe Banzaf, wrestling with his own demons is transformed into a mighty message of salvation and faith. Banzaf, 43, a former heroin addict facing a 9-year stint in prison, instead attended Lycoming County Drug Court, served his 3-month sentence. Together with his wife Becky, he's been able to stay clean for 12 years. Recently, he created Salvation Pro Wrestling Academy, which mixes professional wrestling with Bible characters. The grapplers acting as David and Goliath. And it says, you get to watch the spectacle of a unique message built on morals and focused on drawing those watching closer to the stories in the Bible. It says, after all, Jacob, one of the 3 founding fathers of the Israelites, wrestled all night with an angel. So there is a wrestling company in Williamsport, Pennsylvania that is Bible-based.
Their event that was held in August, a month and 2 days ago, was called Genesis 1:1.
There you go. So they did Cain and Abel, the story of Genesis, obviously.
I was going to ask that.
Yep. Each of the matches, which most recent took place at Fairlawn Community Church, 5 to 15 minutes, just depending on the story. The storylines offer a moral message and a chance to be saved through putting trust and faith in God the Father and his Son, Lord Jesus Christ, Bam said. He said, Pastor Steve Cutter said, I wasn't sure how the church would respond. We just had an event. We're seeing if we can host another, Cutter said. Meanwhile, Salvation Pro Wrestling Academy is solely a Banzaf-driven venture. The Academy does not have a permanent home or training facility, so the church venue has been a way of keeping the matches going word of mouth along with Facebook page has helped promote the sermon-driven sport. No, I'm not a religious man. I don't believe any of us on here are particularly religious human beings. Correct?
I did grow up in an Assemblies of God church.
Okay. I grew up with it. I think we all grew up with it, but I don't think any of us practice anymore. Excuse me. But I kind of want to go see this. Like, I want to see... Like, I don't have the hopes that it's good, and I'm not burying this guy. I'm glad that he's clean 12 years, all that. But I kind of want to see how he puts this stuff together and if there is any sort of coherence to it. Because I do like wrestling, and, you know, David versus Goliath is just, you know, an underdog story, which works in wrestling, I don't know, let me check, every day. So I'm, like, somewhat interested in seeing like what one of these is actually like.
Oh my god.
I'm showing them a photo from their Instagram.
Yeah, all right. So it's I mean, I thought that was like Johnny TV at first. Oh, so AI images of Jesus as a wrestler.
AI images of white Jesus as a wrestler.
Yeah. White Jesus.
And Jesus was looking buff there.
He was looking.
Yeah.
He looks like he's on the chicken rice Nutella diet.
That's right. Jesus on the CRN right there.
Looking good.
For sure.
Yeah, looking much better than he did the last time I saw him. 3 days without eating nothing.
My man was looking yoked.
That's right. He really hit they got the best weight rooms in heaven. So I just for real, like I know we're taking the piss out of it and it's funny. And
I'm taking the piss out of the AI images. I think that, you know,
Salvation Pro is a funny name, but like I am generally interested in like how he puts it together and if it makes any sense and how long a show could possibly be.
But, I mean, it looked like there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 5 matches at their event. Do
they have names? Do they say who wrestled, or are they all under biblical names?
It doesn't say who the names were, but I'm on the Instagram. I try not to go on the Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't see the cage match entry for this show.
I'm googling right now to see if there's a cage match.
Yeah.
Oh, I think there is.
Oh man, Satan, the ultimate heel.
No, it looks like maybe they're not the only. Oh no, they give me a bunch of different options. No.
So it kind of reminds me of like that Ring of Glory. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was like the Vince Russo promotion from mid 2000s. I don't think it was like as I don't want to say as Jesus-y,
on the nose,
but it was like faith-based storylines and stuff.
Sure.
I don't think it lasted long, but
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really see much.
I don't know, man. If that's your thing, you know, more power to you.
If that's your thing, more power to you. I'm looking at their Facebook right now, and they're much more active on Facebook. And every day, you know, they post a little prayer and a little photo to go along with it. And if that is a thing that you practice and is in your life, this is actually a pretty cool thing.
If it keeps this guy clean, which is a 12 years clean, huge accomplishment.
Exactly.
And he's not hurting anybody else outside of the wrestling ring, then there's no problem by me. Is that Piccolo? What is that?
Oh,
listen, if Jesus at the church that I went to was a tattooed Muay Thai fighter,
right?
I might still be religious.
Yeah.
Just hitting the devil with like a standing sidekick. That's kind of dope.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So
Jesus didn't tap. Just remember that.
Oh, God.
Jesus didn't tap.
And now he's back for revenge coming 2026.
That's right. The Jesus thing.
That's right. All right. Let's get out of news. We're going to talk wrestling. Real wrestling, actual wrestling, in-ring wrestling. Where are we going? Brett, you lead the way, pal.
So I only have one thing from WWE.
Okay.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Io Sky versus Bianca Belair.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
Yeah, dude. I wish it had a few more minutes.
Yeah.
This was one of those, like, normally I'm begging for matches to not be as long. This one I was like, I could have used about 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
This was awesome. This is like the first Bianca singles match I've seen in so long.
She's tag champ now, though, right?
Yeah, her and Jade.
Okay.
Get Bianca out of that tag team immediately. She's such a star, dude. Like,
she's so good. Yeah. Yep.
There's a sequence on the outside where she picked Io up in a standing suplex, walked up the stairs with her, and then threw her back into the ring. Wow. It was so sick. The crowd was like going nuts for the match the whole time, which made me real happy. Io Sky is just one of the best in the world, and I am always happy to watch her. And Io got the win on a roll-up, which made me happy, +3 on the dude scale.
Absolutely. Is it to set up a tag match, like tag title shot or anything, or was it just a one-off?
Yeah. So they set it up. It was supposed to be Kairi Sane versus Bianca, but Kairi's eye, is all stitched up.
Right.
Because a couple weeks ago, where she legit landed like face first on the announce table and got busted up real bad.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it'll be Io versus Bianca. So it wasn't as good as their Backlash match, or was it Backlash? I forget what pay-per-view they wrestled on for the title, because that match was also very sick.
Yeah.
But it was really good. Like, they had the crowd so into it. And yeah, Io Sky and Bianca Belair, you both rock. But please let Bianca Belair just be Bianca Belair. She does not need Jade Cargill. Yeah, I don't know. These two should like always be contending for titles, I feel. They are that good. And I feel like the women's division is way better off with them always contending for titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was awesome. And I was so happy that I decided to go back and watch this, because I just love those two so much.
Yeah, I think Bianca, I'm gonna lay this blame at her feet, and I don't actually mean it, but like, she sort of ruined the WWE a little bit, because she was a D1 track athlete, didn't come from like an indie place, didn't come from any of there. She was a D1 track athlete, a hell of an athlete, and she got pulled into the WWE system and has succeeded at it in flying colors. One of the best talents they have, one of the best women's talents they've ever had. And so I think they've been trying to recreate that ever since. And like, it just hasn't landed the way she has. Gable Stevenson didn't work out. A lot of these guys did not work out. And I think she's that shining, that star of like, we can pull an athlete in and teach them how to be a great wrestler. But it hasn't quite worked on the level of Bianca yet.
Yeah, she's so good. And if you remember in NXT, she was a heel the whole time. Like,
yeah.
And it's just like, she was so good at it that the fans started to love her. And I don't know if you could ever get the fans to boo her again at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it was a weird thing too, because I mean, the fans were cheering for Io Sky as well. So, the fans were just pumped to see like a sick match, which I'm always down for that.
Right.
I would have these two wrestle every week if it was up to me. They're that damn good.
Yeah.
Tatum. That's all I had from WWE. Tatum, if you have any comments on either of the two.
Yeah, I have so much to say about WWE. Actually, that's all I watched this week.
Oh no.
Okay, good.
No, I'm just kidding.
We taught you right.
WWE is for babies, and no, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Heart shatter.
Yeah.
And I'm a sicko.
Oh.
Right? That's the thing?
That's right.
AEW is for sickos?
Yeah, you're good. You're right.
I'm so happy.
Oh, Brett.
Yeah. That's all I have on that landscape. AEW, so I'll be honest, I did not watch Rampage.
Me either.
Did not watch Collision.
Oh, I watched Collision in the throes of COVID.
Yeah, once you sent me the card, I looked and I was like, nah, man, I'm all set over here.
So like, Michelle had gone to bed, and I was like, I'm gonna tough it out. I didn't take any notes. I just watched it, and I was like, well, if something's really cool, I'm gonna write it down so I could talk about it. And that never happened. Man, you're gonna give me Collision, and you're gonna open it up with the barn burner of Jack Perry versus Christopher Daniels.
Ugh.
And like, I'm supposed to care. It goes over 5 minutes. It stunk out loud. I will right here talk about something about Jack Perry because I want to get him out of the way as quick as possible. Really, AEW is treating Jack Perry like he has an aura. And I saw somebody online say this, so I'm stealing it from them a little bit. But like, he has no aura. So like, they have him stopping his black bus outside, leaving it running, walking in the arena, doing the Raven pose, and I'm like, none of this is cool because he's not cool.
No,
like,
his aura is brown.
Yeah, for
Like,
shit.
There's really
shit brown. Doo-doo green.
I don't find anything really captivating about him. And I think that you're absolutely right. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like a lot of aura-less wrestlers have had long careers, so it's not a complete write-off for him. But like, he's never gonna, unless he finds it, which I think you have to be born with it. I don't know. I don't know that you can work hard enough to get an aura, but like, and if for anybody out there who doesn't know what I'm talking about, think Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If Moxley sped up to an arena in a car, got out and left it running while he walked to the ring, you're like, this dude's going to beat a guy in 30 seconds and just go back to his car. It's not even worth his time to shut that fucking car off. But when Jack Perry does it, I'm like, you're wasting gas, you dummy. Like, what are you doing? Like, they're making you drive the short bus to work, and you just look like an idiot. Like, none of this works.
There's something about him that is just so uncharismatic to me.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's trying really hard.
Sure, this is definitely his dream, right? He had the benefit of being Luke Perry's kid, so he didn't have to get a real career.
He's Luke Perry's kid?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's legitimate Luke Perry's son. Luke Perry used to go to all the shows before he tragically passed away. But Luke Perry's been on AEW TV. He used to go to the indie shows and sit in the crowd and watch them. Like, yeah, that's Luke Perry's kid. When he shaves, he looks a little bit like him.
That's how new I am.
Yeah, but like, he's like when he was Jungle Boy, like, again, he didn't have aura, but at least you were like, oh yeah, I could believe that this is a very nice boy who has a pet dinosaur man. But like, now it's just like, no, you're not a tough guy. I don't know. I don't even want to say he's too pretty because I don't even think he's that pretty. It's just not there, and I don't think you can manufacture aura.
He's not pretty enough to be the pretty villain. He's not tough enough to be the tough guy. He's not crazy enough to be, I don't know, whatever. Like, and really scapegoat as like that's what you're going to call yourself. That's such a low energy thing.
That's because of the CM Punk stuff, right? You know that?
No.
So he's called the scapegoat because he's the reason why CM Punk got fired from AEW. So him and CM Punk fought backstage. They released the security footage on AEW months and months ago. Punk had some issues with the backstage fight with the Young Bucks, came back, and then had beef with Jack Perry about using glass on TV for whatever reason. They got into a backstage brawl. Punk kind of half lunged at Tony Khan and made Tony Khan poo in his pants. And they fired CM Punk over it. So Jack Perry is the scapegoat for AEW no longer having CM Punk.
Okay, you explained it to me, and it's still dumb.
Yeah, and he did get suspended for a little bit too, but they didn't fire him. Which, you look back, hindsight, maybe you don't, maybe you do. I don't know. You know, I don't think old Phil wanted to be there anymore either way. I think Jack Perry was a very convenient way for Phil to get out of there. But also on the other side of that, one of Phil's biggest enemies, Hangman Page, has been carrying this company to the best feud of their career, of the whole company. So who knows?
Oh, yes.
But that's scapegoat, and it doesn't work. You're right. It's still dumb. It doesn't fucking work. He wears a literal goat head. It's terrible. He tried it in Japan for a bit when he was on suspension. It didn't work. Nothing works about this kid. But anyway.
He'll keep trying, and maybe something will catch.
He is like the one dude on the roster that has legitimate rights to like a spoiled rich kid gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
and
doesn't use it.
It doesn't use it. But his dad's like one of the biggest stars in the 90s. He was Pike in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, for Christ's sakes.
That's your reference for Luke Perry?
Yeah. Wait, what else is he in?
90210.
90210.
I don't know what that is. Pike's not a name, it's a fish. I had the Buffy the Vampire Slayer poster on the back of my door growing up. I didn't have a 90210 poster. Thank you very much.
I didn't have posters.
Yeah. Christy Swanson. The poster was Christy Swanson, but Luke Perry was also there. But Christy Swanson's also nuts. So, but anyway, what else did we have? Nope.
I had this on in the background. I had Collision on in the background, but I didn't really pay attention to anything. I think I glanced over a couple of times, but nothing was really eye-catching to me. Nothing grabbed my attention enough to make me sit down on the couch and pay attention. I was doing house things.
That is kind of the big descriptor of Collision as a whole, sadly.
I agree.
I would say 3 out of the 4 weeks a month, Collision is almost a completely skippable show, which sucks, but it's what it is.
Yep.
But we did get the returning Yuka Sakazaki versus Serena Deeb. And the match was okay, but was super glad to see Yuka, and she gets the win, which does carry over a little bit into Dynamite, so I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson rules, and the main event of it was FTR versus British FTR.
Oh.
So that would be, in case people didn't know, that would be FTR Bald and FTR Hair versus GYV Bald and GYV Hair. So that's
suck.
And the match wasn't good. So, and I don't know. I think those FTR boys have had some pretty good fucking matches in their lives.
I'm gonna put on an FTR match anytime over the Grizzled Young Vets.
Yes. So I do grit my teeth whenever they come out to wrestle, though, because I know that I have to sit through something I don't want to. So tough.
They're so bad.
Yeah, I don't like them at all. Those guys would not like me in person. I really don't like them. We would have words. I
did see the Outrunners made the save, though.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
They should be jamming the Outrunners on everything they possibly can. Tatum, have you seen the Outrunners yet?
I think so.
Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. The blonde-haired guys that flex all the time. They do the 80s gimmick. No, they're fantastic.
No, I think that I've seen them come on, and they're my cigarette match.
Oh no, you gotta watch.
Oh no.
It would be interesting actually to see. The next time they're on, I'll let you know, or next time you're here, we'll shoot you we'll put some stuff up, because you have no nostalgia for 80s, right? You don't know what 80s wrestling really is at all. And these guys are.
I was born in 1982. I wasn't.
Right. You're a new wrestling fan.
And I'm a new wrestling fan.
To see if these guys work on a level with you, as opposed to Brett and I, who have so much love for the thing that they're like riffing on, being 80s wrestling characters. It'd be interesting to see if it worked on any other level. They're currently, depending on who you believe, the #1 merch mover, t-shirt mover, at least in AEW. But they're like a job act that are catching on because their shtick is really funny, and they're doing vignettes that look like they're shot on VHS. And friend of the show, Erica Lee.
They're the best.
They're awesome.
Oh, Erica Lee.
Yes, she manages them on TV.
Oh, cool.
The big gal.
One half of Gummy Boar.
Yes.
One half of Gummy Boar.
Right, who will also be at LBAC Steel Stacks in just a few weeks.
That's
So, which is Tatum, that's the real shit. I said if you wanted to come, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
To see some real shit. Standing room only, but it's some real shit. So
That's cool.
it's like October 5th, I think, something like that.
I don't know. It's a Saturday. That's all I remember.
It's Saturday.
Cool.
In the casino.
But yeah.
in Bethlehem.
Doug was texting me about the Outrunners this weekend.
Oh, so they've how in the world did they hit his purview?
Doug loves them.
Yeah.
He said he was a big fan of their vignette when they were in the gym and they clanked their dumbbells like they were beer mugs.
Yes. Good.
And then I had to tell Doug about the whole meat spin shirt.
Nice.
I sent it to him and Doug's like, "Please tell me this is real."
Are we owed money for that? I think we deserve money for that, right?
I don't know, man. We
reignited the knowledge of meat spin in the global oeuvre, if you will.
Joe and I had to describe what meatspin.com is to Todd yesterday.
I should have just showed him. You have to describe nothing.
It was
if you have a VPN, you just show him.
Oh.
It was
Tatum, use your imagination. You're right.
Tatum, go to meatspin.com right now on your computer.
No, that's okay.
No, you're good. You can just let your brain wander a little bit, and you're right.
So when you first said that, I thought you were saying meat spins, and I was like, oh, is that like meat sweats?
Well, kind of.
Oh no, well,
no,
there's sweat.
Much different.
Okay.
There's sweat.
Okay, I stepped into that one. No.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And we did tell Doug about the you son of a bitch arm drop or elbow drop that they do. So they rule.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of Collision though.
Doug's a fan.
We can move on.
Yeah, I will say I am a fan now of, is it Mansoor? Is that his name from the M&M Express or whatever the hell it's called?
Absolutely.
Just because of that tweet telling people to go get a discount at meatspin.com.
Do you think he caught any heat for that?
Probably.
Oh boy.
I'm sure somebody said, "Hey man, you gotta take that down." And
did he take it down?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It was up for a while.
Yeah, because people were replying to it being like, "I'm at work."
I know that one guy, hilarious, amazing. Jesus.
Made me so happy.
Yeah,
big fan of him. Big fan of those guys. Now they're officially I'm in now.
All right, good. I'm glad. I've been waiting for it. I've been holding the seat for you.
I'm fully in now.
All right.
I shout out to the M&M Express.
What's what a little meat spin does
connection,
for you.
Whatever the hell.
I think just is. MXM, right?
Sure. Their connections and expresses all over the world, baby.
Absolutely. That's right, brother.
So yeah, Dynamite. I mean, I don't have literally any notes because I was there.
Well, right. So you guys were both there and I wasn't. So I want to hear about the experience. I want to hear about Tatum's first wrestling experience. That to me, I think this was a good show. I liked watching it at home. There was some good wrestling. I don't know why in the world you open up a wrestling show with a 25-minute Chris Jericho match, no matter who's it against.
I'll say this. It went better than expected. And the live crowd was very into it.
Good. Go ahead.
The live crowd, this might be the match that they were the most into.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was like. So I was in the center of the ring on the but like the hard camera side was to my left, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you were facing the ramp.
Yeah. Brett was just to the right of me, so there were a lot more people around him. So I don't know if he could hear more reaction than I could.
I would say so, yeah.
For the entirety of the match, or for the entirety of the whole night. Okay, so like
I think that's a good observation.
Yeah. Which I like kind of clocked right away. But I will say Wilkes-Barre fucking loves Orange Cassidy.
Yes, that I was gonna say that too. Even before the show, we're sitting there, and Joe and I are just looking around, being like, "Man, look at all the Orange Cassidy signs."
Yeah.
There
There's so many of them.
Many Orange Cassidy signs that we had little kids.
Yeah.
Very small little kids with Orange Cassidy signs dressed as him. People were dressed as him. There was denim everywhere and his face on the back of denim jackets and the sunglasses and whatever. Like, and I will say my friend who came with me got their flight landed like at 7:30. So they didn't get there until like 3/4 of the way through this match. And I felt totally comfortable and at home in this match, sitting by myself for the first time at a live wrestling thing. Because like everybody was cheering for the same person that I was. And the energy was just really high at this moment.
Yeah. It seemed like a really good crowd. And Tatum, I don't know if you know this, but Orange Cassidy's a Lehigh Valley guy.
Yeah.
So big, almost a hometown show for him, almost.
Right.
But yeah, that it sounded really good on TV. I'm glad that Wilkes-Barre came out for that because Wilkes-Barre's a good wrestling town. So
it is. I agree.
You know, it does beg the question, like, you know, should they have or will they ever make OC world champion? Because he is arguably has been since his debut top 5 star in that company and one of the bigger crossover stars they have. He's the guy they send out for media. He's the guy that does TV. You know, he's the guy who does the news, and he was on 97.9X this week. Like, he's that guy. So, but I'm glad
I know he was on WILK this week too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. It was seriously so cool. Like, just seeing like the whole crowd loved him so much. You know, you're in Wilkes-Barre, so you do have some people who are a little bit behind on the times.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting next to one.
That was gonna be a question later.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you had your big Jericho fans. You know, which, hey, whatever at this point in your life. If you like Chris Jericho, I'm not going to tell you not to.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was the match. Yeah, I agree. It was longer than expected, but it went better than expected.
Good.
Except there was one, I think it was when OC hit him with a Michinoku driver. Jericho did not help him at all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was just, Joe pointed out, he's like, boy, really jumped for that one there, Chris.
Yeah.
And when OC was in the ring, Todd leaned over to Joe and said to him, "Hey, Corny was right."
Oh God. Of course. Always stirring the pot.
Yeah.
He'll never hear this, so he just never knows when to stop.
Exactly. He does. He loves podcasts. Todd's a big podcast.
Big podcaster, Todd.
So I think that probably because this is the first time that AEW is here, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And this is a really big WWE town.
They sell this arena out like no problem every time.
I know, because they and their crew and whatever typically will stay at the hotel that my salon is in.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crazy. And I've been on flights with them multiple times whenever they're here. This is me becoming a wrestling fan and knowing who anybody was and whatever. I was sat next to a person who didn't watch wrestling since the early 2000s, is just getting back into it, was really excited that Jericho was there and kept screaming, "Yeah, the walls of Jericho!"
Nice.
In my ear. As then I like kind of gave him a side eye, stood up and went, "Boo!" But I think that maybe because this is such a big WWE town, he was kind of expecting more people to be for him, and maybe not as expecting such an Orange Cassidy showing.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And I think that's why he was being a little spicy bitch in those couple of moments. Listen, I'm sorry. I mean, I will mince no words about it. I hate Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely had your WWE fans there as opposed to just pro wrestling fans.
Yes.
You know, they're like, oh, wrestling's in town. Sure, I'll go.
Right.
And I hope, like, at the end of the night, they, you know, were like, oh shit, this was a lot of fun, and we'll come back, you know, because a little foreshadowing, like after the show, and after Tony Khan did his time cop speech, which Todd was so excited. Oh my God, that popped Todd left and right. They, you know, people were chanting, please come back. And
good.
Tony Khan's like, I think you guys are saying, please come back, right? And of course, crowd goes nuts. And he goes, I'm going to tell you right now, 100% we will be back.
Nice.
So I think that's awesome. You know,
so I was actually worried about that.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, from where I was sitting, where, you know, there's not as many people who sit on the hard camera side, right? And so from where I was sitting, it wasn't as loud as probably where you were sitting. And I was really worried that there wasn't enough crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Also, being a new person there, I'm not going to be the person who's like chanting and going crazy and
so I mean, they didn't sell a ton of tickets. They sold 3,000. It looked good if they had the lights up on camera side. Hard cam is why you see pictures, people posting the AEW gotchas, couldn't fill this arena. At a WWE show, there's no empty seats. There's like a little alleyway for the hard cam, and that's it. They do that much. But it's tough when they only can sell half an arena. They did good. They did better than I thought they would in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
But WWE sells that place out like up top, 9,000, 10,000 people, 8,000, whatever it fits. WWE does that every time. You know, that arena used to be at one point too small for the WWE to run a TBA, and they would just do house shows there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So AEW's got a long way to go, but they got a loud, solid crowd. That is a start. Build those inroads. It's a great wrestling town. It's got a lot of wrestling history. Like we said before, Big T was there.
Damn right.
Tatum, did you have any crowd comedians by you?
I really did. I had 5 bros behind me that there were like way too many moments, even in like the female pre-show match, and in the doubles, you know, oh, that should have been me. And kept making AARP jokes for this first match, and like just really dumb shit like that along the whole way. And I at one point I turned around and I'm like, okay, enough, bro. Like, we get it. Like he was just kind of class clowning it, and then the friends in the group were doing like trying to egg him on. And I was like, maybe you shouldn't have had that third beer. I don't know.
Yeah. How'd they smell? Anybody smell?
Oh, yeah. And they smelled. And it's so funny because my friend that was with me, they were like, I don't understand what it is. Like, just shower. Like,
yeah.
I flew home from Florida today. I showered before I got on the plane, and then I made sure to like be okay before I got here because I was going to be close to people. And this friend goes to Raw almost every week as well. So they were like, I just don't understand what it is. about wrestling fans. Why can't you shower?
It is a long-standing mystery.
Yeah.
It has a solution. It's just so rarely taken.
Yep.
So
I mean, what if we had like dude wipes at the door on the way into the arena?
they'd probably try and eat them.
Dude wipes could sponsor.
Yeah.
They would definitely try to eat them.
They'd be like, what is this? Yeah, they'd be like, I don't need a napkin. I haven't gone double tendy yet.
Oh, don't go double tendy.
Never go double tendy. Yeah. That's
So
well, you did get an authentic experience. So that's
I did. Listen, I don't care. I loved every second of it. And also, I've played aggressive sports my whole life. I'm used to fans being a little bit smelly. Like,
Right.
I played roller derby. I played rugby. I played soccer. Like, it happens.
Well, wrestling's a
That's
little
the truth.
different. Wrestling fans a little different, especially
Then
these
roller derby?
these AEW. Anybody ever shit their pants while watching roller derby and leave it there?
Probably.
You know, AEW is a yes. There's not a probably.
That's a confirmed yes.
It's a confirmed leaving doo-doo on the seat.
Wow.
So,
Gross.
but
Well, so this first match, I will say, to wrap up this first one, I was happy I got to see Orange Cassidy. I was thrilled that he beat the fuck out of Chris Jericho. No, it was a really good back and forth match. I was happy that he won, even though it was 25 minutes long.
yeah.
It was really good, and I enjoyed it, and the crowd enjoyed it. So while I hear what you're saying about, I'm not sure why you would put a 25-minute match against Chris Jericho at the front of the match in a WWE heavy town that loves Chris Jericho but loves Orange Cassidy more. That was the perfect thing to do to get the crowd's energy up to sustain it for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I had said this to Brett earlier, like looking at the card, it was like a little thin, right? There like not a huge variety of people. We're seeing the people we get most weeks, which is, for consistency. But also when you look at it, it's because they know they were entering a WWE town for the first time. So Ricochet gets a really big feature because he just came over. Jericho's a guy he'll see. There's that, that works. You have Mox. Like, these are people that are in the WWE stratosphere still, so people understand who they are. So it does make sense. Did you guys live understand that there was a roll of quarters involved in this match, or no?
No.
I thought it was brass knucks.
Commentary called it a roll of quarters, which is controversial on AEW TV. But they did the little switcheroo, where Jericho had it, OC got it, and won with them. But I don't know what it was, because they didn't explode like they were in the past when they were used. But commentary specifically called it a roll of quarters. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that on maybe Twitter or something, or maybe it was in the Discord.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing that I was disappointed about. I couldn't hear like the silly little things Taz was saying.
Yeah, live you don't hear commentary.
Know.
Yeah.
I know. I went on Twitter afterwards, and I got to see him sing Yuka Sakazaki's theme song, and that made me real happy.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't look at anything. I came home, I went to bed, I went to work this morning, and I didn't get home until 30 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, geez. Well, look at that little kitten.
It's a kitten. It's a tiny baby cat.
Yes, it is.
All
right, where are we going?
Speaking of Taz, the next one was Hook and JD Inc. This was a nothing super quick match. We knew that Hook was going to win. JD Inc. has really lovely tattoos. And it was like, the cute Gen Z match.
Yeah.
This was one that like nobody gave a shit about.
Yeah,
I also think it might have been shorter because Jericho and Cassidy ran so long.
That could be.
It's possible. I mean, this was going to be a squash no matter what. Did they have the Hook signal?
If they did, I didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
where
if they
it was
did, I
at.
didn't see it.
I don't remember them showing it on TV, but they might have. How was the audio for promos and stuff? Because we got the little BCC Yuta thing backstage. Were you guys able to hear that stuff, or were they bad like they normally are?
Wait, that wasn't at. No, actually, we didn't get BCC Yuta backstage. We got something else.
No, so
later.
yeah, they showed them up like on the
Yeah.
Contron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the audio, it was okay. Like
Okay.
It kept
so,
going out.
Tatum, do you remember like when they heard like when Pac was on the screen talking?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh,
she was-
right. And they were okay. That's right. Because I remember explaining this to my friend that was with me. That like, oh, they're speaking directly to Yuta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of times when you go, like, AEW has a lot of audio problems. They had audio problems on this thing. They tried to play a video package like 3 times.
So
we saw that too.
that happened in the arena.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. That was it Nigel's thing, right? Was that what it was?
It was Nigel's thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, production-wise, how that sounded, because they're definitely doing something with Yuta, so that's cool. And I like that he forgot the belt in the locker room. Forgot, in quotes. We get, for me, the private party interview challenging Mox and Claudio. I was like, what are we doing here?
That was
Right.
so stupid.
I got so mad. I'm like, this is what we're doing? This is the thing? This is what you want people to sign up for? Like, this is a mess, but they do fix it later when Mox just smashes the one's
They
hand
do
with a hammer.
fix it. They do fix it later.
But like they were like, and they were trying to be like, is this a like temporary like private party's pissed change of character, or is this they're now going to be like harder sort of street toughs?
Yeah, who knows where it's gonna go. I mean, so this is the part that like made my night.
Yeah.
So where we were sitting, Todd was at the end of the row, and I said to him, I was like, there's a good chance Jon Moxley is going to walk out right past us. And he says, of course, who's Jon Moxley?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, the guy with the potato salad from the Shield comic book. And he's like, oh, I know who that is.
That's right.
So the music hits, and like they're at the back corner of the arena, and I'm like, they're going to walk right past us. They're coming.
Wait,
And
can I interject for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because previous to this, where I was standing, I watched security go and secure that curtain, and I was like, holy shit, Mox is walking in right there, and he's going to come up this aisle, which I was by.
Nope.
And then instead, he like cut around the back and then continue, Brett.
Tatum, he's got to go where people are sitting.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah, so him, Marina Shafir, and Claudio walked by us in all their glory. I was fired up because you know how much I love Jon Moxley.
I got you on TV.
Todd's
I
like-
saw it.
Todd was like, I'm gonna slap his hand, and Joe's like, I wouldn't do that. So they come walking by. I'm fired up. Todd, I have a picture of Moxley where Todd's thumb is in it. Todd just gave him a thumbs up, and then the TV image is Joe booing him.
Yeah,
with the big thumbs down because Joe respects kayfabe, brother.
that's right.
Yeah, there were big Moxley chants. That was like definitely one of the highlights of the night, though. Just watching him walk past us. I felt very fired up during it.
I know. When the whole room was chanting "You sick fuck," it was just so.
Uh-huh. Oh, I loved it so much.
I saw people online praising Marina Shafir and for how good of a job she's doing this role. And I'm like, I think she's doing a great job, but also she's just there and kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like, she cut one of the all-time worst AEW promos ever, and they never let her talk again. And now her character is just, I don't talk, I just kill people. And that works perfectly.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the run of the original run of China.
Right.
That's what China did. Just didn't
Absolutely.
talk. It was
I
a
know
heavy
her.
for Triple H,
Yeah. Lots of
You
people know her.
certainly do.
Rest
Rest in peace.
Before that
Rest
segment,
in peace, China.
we did get the match that I was the most bummed about not getting to see, because I really wanted to see Yuka Sakazaki, because we here love Yuka, And when she showed up at AEW, she broke her leg.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been a long time coming back, and I was excited for this because Yuka's awesome. She had that really good piece with Mariah on Collision where she was like, "Okay, bye."
Yeah.
I love Yuka so much.
And
I
so
love Yuka.
I was bummed not to get to see her, but I'm glad she looked good. They're doing something with her. She almost wins this match over Serena Deeb again.
Listen, they better do something with her. She does almost win this match, and I just want to talk about. So when I first came on, and the first time that I was on this podcast, it was like an introduction to Tony and Mariah for me when Mariah was still Tony's like henchman or whatever.
Yes.
And I hated Mariah in that role.
Okay.
And I correctly predicted the heel turn and was really excited for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Mariah right now.
She does seem a little rudderless. I don't know that they had solid plans past the Tony thing, which was inevitable and had to happen.
Right.
And this division isn't the strongest. I think they probably hoped for a little better out of Britt Baker, and could have had her in a loop somewhere. But like, this women's division is on paper very, very good, but cannot get started for whatever reason.
So, and I think that this is what annoys me so badly, is that Mariah is really fucking good.
She's very good.
Yes, she is.
She's a good wrestler.
Yes.
And to watch her like call the camera over while she splays herself out over the stairs to like bite her finger while holding her belt while Serena is asking for help and whatever, like, it was just dumb to me. Anyway, like, I don't know. Through this whole match, I was like, this is boring. This is dumb. I don't really love anything about this other than these lovely ladies look amazing in their costumes, and Yuka is fucking awesome.
Serena Deeb's a difficult character to wrap your head around and watch on TV. She's not bad, but she's like Jungle Boy to me, auraless. It's just not there. She's dull. And
I will agree with that.
This is definitely to get Yuka and Mariah to their title match, and then the eventual return of Mina Shirakawa.
Right.
But I like the post-match whipping with the belt and all that. Like, Yuka is great, and I'm glad that she's back and they're giving her that showcase. But, and I like Aminata a lot also, but she's still so young that she's gonna get there. Like, Mariah May's young too, but Mariah May has put her work in Stardom and has started at a very young age. Aminata's relatively new, and she's gonna get there, and I like Aminata a ton. But yeah, this was the match was fine. Wrestling fans still, particularly the guys who were sitting behind you, Tatum, or next to you, or wherever, have a really hard time comprehending women's matches. So it's hard to get a crowd into it because they don't know how to watch without being creeps.
Yeah.
And that causes issues sometimes.
I think that you're right. And maybe they should just like watch a bunch of just Joshi wrestling.
I watch a bunch of Joshi wrestling. I love it. And that's what you need.
I mean, honestly, and like maybe it would give them a little bit better of an appreciation, and they could come back into this with fresh eyes.
Also, look at you knowing words. I'm so proud.
I love it. It makes me so happy.
But yeah, and we got the little Mina promo afterwards, little video.
Yes, we do want Mina.
And Mina is, Brett and I say this all the time, and I just accuse people of being creeps, but I'll be one myself a little bit. She's like one of the prettiest people I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And just the way they're presenting her on AEW is that way. Like they are definitely like, this woman is incredibly pretty. You're going to love her.
Well, and I think that that's just the AEW way anyway, though.
Yeah.
Like they're whoever you are, whatever your role, your character, your whatever, like in order to sell it, they're going to hypersexualize it.
It's women's American wrestling as a whole, yes.
Well, yes, but I think more so AEW than WWE as far as what I've seen.
I'll show you some videos.
Well,
but I get what you're saying. No, I'm only teasing you.
Right. I mean, it's like nobody's allowed to have not that characteristic, right? I guess is what I kind of felt and saw.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All I know is that when Mina said that, the world wants Mina and Mina is coming, I thought Adam was going to pass out.
Of course.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Sorry, Adam. Hi. But honestly, I do love Mina.
And Mina's also a fantastic wrestler. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I became aware of Mina because she is a close personal friend of you guys.
It's true.
That's right.
And there's photographic evidence of it, and
that's
yes,
right.
and then I've seen her work, and she's good. She's very very good.
Yes. So where are we going? Let's see. Ricochet versus the Beast Mortos.
Yeah. So
Ricochet was very over with this crowd.
Which is why you put him here. This is his highest profile match since coming to AEW. Like, one-on-one match. And you put him in front of a WWE crowd. It's smart. Smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this. They need to let the Beast Mortos win, please.
Yeah,
he needs
awesome
to win. I love the Beast Mortos.
I agree. They do, but I don't think that this was the match, and I don't think that this was like, I mean, it is the time. It's time for him to win, but I don't think that this was the match, and I don't, like, just because it was Ricochet and where we were and, whatever. Like, he just came over.
Yeah. The tough thing is that, like, Mortos is catching a wave from being underneath every time they show him, right? So, like, he's catching on.
Yep.
But there's and while you want Ricochet to have this match against this guy who is arguably the best at that of what they can do right now in there, but Mortos is catching a wave, so it's like, well, couldn't you fit, like, Commander or, somebody else in there? But then it's not as high profile. It's a hard thing to do. And they're also fast-tracking Ricochet to Will Ospreay, which I don't agree with.
No, I don't agree with that either.
So this was also like, let's get this high-profile match out of there so we can move him. Because Beast Mortos will still, because he's cool and because he has aura, the word of the day apparently, Mortos, even though I don't think he's won a singles match, at least not one of meaning, still feels like a threat, and people still really like him. So this feels like a bigger win for Ricochet when he beat a guy that's essentially winless in the company. Right. So it's a tough spot for Mortos, but, like, this dude should be wrecking people on Collision.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
also,
I'm a big fan.
I was very shocked that how little he is for a big guy in real life. I thought that he was going to be way bigger than he was.
Yeah, it's because you're used to hanging out with us two Adonises. That's why.
I think that that's it.
That's what it is. We're just pure monolith of human beings here. Me and Brett. Like, it's not monolith would be each of us individual monoliths. That's your problem. You have a skewed vision of what regular people look like. I
think that you're probably right about that.
Spend all when you spend all your time with 2024's stud stable. Everyone
Damn
else,
right. Let's
everyone
go.
else seems lesser in comparison.
Well, no, okay, so like one of the pre-matches was Satnam Singh,
Yes.
and
Yeah, versus
I was
Colt Cabana.
I was right, and Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
I was expecting Mortos to be almost as big as Satnam Singh.
No.
I don't know why.
You saw our picture with Satnam, right?
No.
Oh, he's actually like
Oh.
7'3".
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we met
he's
him.
massive.
We met him when we went out to Ohio like a month or two ago.
Oh, yeah.
He's 7'3", legit.
Oh, okay.
So like, there's a picture of me that makes me look like a baby. Like he's a big dude.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
Okay, so maybe I don't know. So
but I get it. You know, Ricochet's not a big guy either. I remember Ricochet when he started in Chikara, and I have a hard time imagining that he's the same guy. So,
right, and I guess I was imagining like more of a size difference between the two of them.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that
this was a
good.
match that this was a match that Marcus would hate because he doesn't like little wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
But yeah, Mortos, I love more. I mean, Ricochet was good, but like, damn, I love Mortos. Let's figure it out. Let's get something going for him.
Yeah, there was a couple botches. They redid a couple of the spots, which I get. You know, it happens. But overall, it was a ton of fun. Good TV match. Good for that crowd. Get them all going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my second favorite match of the night. I thought it was good. I have to talk about Hangman Page
Yep.
coming out and threatening violence on Tony Schiavone. And I like that is the line that you don't cross in AEW is threatening physical harm to Tony Schiavone.
Yes. I just sent Tatum the picture of me and Satnam Singh.
And I just like, gave
perfect.
you the face like, holy shit.
Yes. So
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's when Jeff Jarrett came out to make the save.
Yeah.
Joe howled. And it was so awesome. Oh,
Did you
man,
all
it was
call
so
it?
cool.
I
Yeah,
didn't know he was
figured
going to be there.
I figured he was going to get involved.
Yeah.
I was so happy for Joe because, you know, Double J, that's his guy.
Yep.
And Jarrett cuts a great promo afterwards. Says
Killer
he's gonna
promo.
kick Hanger's ass.
Hanger.
Yeah.
Shout out Miss Karen Jarrett, looking phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Also, in video packages, I must say, Miss Renee, looking wonderful as ever.
Of course.
Oh,
Always.
Miss Renee looked amazing.
Top notch. Yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so much fun though. Like I was so pumped for Joe. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he was so excited.
That's Twitter lit up with "Is Joe supposed to okay?" Like when that happened, like everybody was like, "Is Joe there? He knows. Is he all right? Does we have eyes on him?" Like everybody. So
yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, I think then like after that was just the main event, right?
Well, no, right before that, when Hangman was just talking shit,
yeah,
I was like, I am the only person in this arena that is on his side because I have like a little thing against Swerve right now. And everybody just kept chanting Swerve's house as he was talking.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, whatever. I don't care if I'm on the wrong side of history. I'm going to stand my ground. I have made my opinion.
Hangman's a really interesting character because he is an absolutely justified heel.
Yeah.
Those make the best heels.
But the justification isn't just in his head.
No, it's not.
So like it is a wild character. So I don't know that there's a wrong side of history. Swerve is just one of the coolest dudes ever. What's your beef with Swerve? Is it the needle?
No, it's not the needle. That would have been against Hangman, right?
Well, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
My beef against Swerve, because now I have watched like death matches with you guys.
That's right.
I can hang through pretty much anything.
You can. That's true.
my line in the sand for everything in life is when you fuck with kids.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the over the crib thing from months ago.
So over the crib thing, when he broke into Hangman's house and was like fucking filmed a promo from the child's bedroom.
Yes.
And then also
with Danielson,
I know that this is kind of double-sided because Danielson and his wife are shit parents for having the kids there.
It's fine. You're a wrestling fan. Your opinions don't have to make sense all the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Nothing makes sense in the world. I'm a wrestling fan.
Yep.
So, but like screaming in the children's face and, you know, whatever. And I understand the script. I understand the theatrics. I understand all of the things. Like, I could, as an actor, do some pretty stupid, shitty things, but there are lines that I wouldn't cross, and that's one that I wouldn't cross. And so that's my beef with Swerve. Like, because, you know, actually, if you go back and listen to episodes that I've been on, I was like, yeah, I fucking love Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that he's a psychopath and a fucking sicko, he is insane.
Yes.
But for me personally, children is my line in the sand.
So would it change your opinion if you knew that after that happened on pay-per-view, Danielson got his kids in the ring because his son wanted to be power bombed?
Well, no, because I also said it doesn't, like, I also think that Danielson and his wife were shit parents for having them.
Okay.
And I get they're part of the story and whatever, but
they're both wrestlers. He's married to a wrestler.
I know.
Former.
I get it. I understand. Okay. I understand all of these things.
Yeah.
As a person who studied psychology that focused on child psychology, like, these are just things that are inexcusable from both sides now. Like, it kind of made me lose a few points with Danielson as well.
Well, what if I told you that every wrestler's child has come out perfectly fine?
Listen, I would say you're full of shit.
Every one of them.
No, I would say you are absolutely 100% full of shit. I know that for a fact.
From Grizzly Smith's kids to Vern Gagne to Bryan Danielson, all the children perfectly fine.
Brooke Hogan too, right?
Very strong. That's Brooke Tini, excuse you. They all perfectly fine, well balanced, not in any trouble.
Right.
Perfect members of society, all of them. So
yeah.
So study all you want. I happen to know that that's the truth.
Okay, that's totally fine. But
I will never ever show you The Rock versus Mick Foley.
Tatum, we have to watch we have to watch Beyond the Mat now.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yep. It has to happen.
Coming soon to the soon-to-be named network.
There we go. Movie.
Tatum's takes.
Don't write checks your ass won't cash, because that's a tough one. How do you feel about Dwayne Johnson?
I don't think that I particularly care for him.
Okay, all right. Well, everything him and Mick Foley, hot button issue. We'll talk. We'll show you. Just can't blame us. Main event of this show.
The main event.
Yeah. Main event was sick. I thought it was the best match of the night.
For sure.
Takeshita is a handsome man. Kyle Fletcher.
Best wrestler in that match to me, honestly.
Best wrestler in that match. I said today on the Discord, I posted my photo of Takeshita.
Mm-hmm.
Up
it's a
close.
Beautiful photo.
Beautiful photo. Thank you. It was one of the very few photos that I took, and the only one that I really cared about. I love Takeshita. I have very strong opinions about this match. Let's fucking go.
Go for it.
Okay.
Lay him out.
So, I do hate the Young Bucks. I think they're dumb.
Right, because we've taught you, right? Correct. Go ahead.
It's like they're annoying. It's all of their shticks. I've like had it with cute, like, I'll take your grandma's pearls and shut up and get out of my face.
Those are guys that are interesting to think about the context of this show tonight. They had aura and burned through it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
100%. I do like Okada.
as one should.
As one should. But then on the other side of it, we've got Takeshita. And I feel like this is a thing that is going to, well, in my wildest dreams, it is eventually building toward Okada and Takeshita.
Yes.
And Osprey and Fletcher is like a vehicle to start to kind of get it there or whatever. I don't know. But I was really annoyed from the jump at this match. Now, I love Will Ospreay. I recognize who he is, what he's done for this company. And, you know, whatever. He's their golden boy, and I get that. And Takeshita is like, dude, put me in, tag me in, whatever. And he just keeps looking at him, and he's like, nah, little boy, I'll let you go when I'm done with my little move here and whatever. Like, the acting between them, the facial expressions, Takeshita played this off so well. And I hope that they're going to give him his moment to actually get there, have his matches, and become the person in AEW that he deserves to be. I'm just afraid that they're not going to, and they're going to keep running with this bullshit.
Agreed. I think that's a really good point. I think you're pretty spot on about the reservations about what they can and how far they're willing to go with Takeshita.
Yeah, he's really good.
It's great. Yeah.
Like, and I know that you guys were big fans of him, which made me check out a little bit more. And I know he did like fucking amazing in the G1, right?
He did great in New Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just think that he deserves so much more. And I don't like this little moment and storyline between Ospreay just kind of like snubbing him out a little bit. And I can't say as much about Fletcher because like he was there on his like, I need my moment thing as well. But you could even kind of see at the end of the match, like Takeshita kind of being very cold to Ospreay. And I enjoyed that very much because I think that that's going to be a thing. And like maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go this far yet. Tell me what you guys thought about this match.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. Kyle Fletcher is the fucking man.
Fletcher also rules. It's crazy that Wilkes-Barre got a match like that had Fletcher, Ospreay, Okada, and Takeshita in it. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy that Fletcher and Ospreay used the the fuck's their name? Why can't I think of them right now? What's the tag team name with Mark Davis?
United Empire.
No.
Aussie Open.
Yeah, they used the Aussie Open finisher.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was on TV or not, but up on the Tron at the end, they were flashing the United Empire logo.
Yeah, they showed it on TV. Yep.
So that's where the whole Takeshita's like questioning thing is coming from. Yeah, though, man, watching Ospreay live is such a treat. And Fletcher and Takeshita were just so much fun, and Okada fucking rules. Even though I don't know, I'm starting to get on Ed's side here a little bit.
No, I still love it. I think it's hilarious.
Dude, he's one of my favorite, like one of the best wrestlers of all time, and he's like stuck with the Young Bucks, and it fucking sucks.
So the part that sucks in this
like
for
that.
me.
Oh, go ahead.
The end of this match with the super kick spam with Ospreay and the Bucks, like I hated that at the end. Like the Bucks stink. But Okada feels safe with those guys, so like it's like, yeah, I want Okada to do more, right? Because he is the one or two of the world best wrestlers. But like I'm also like, I mean, he's already given us a lot, just not a lot in AEW. So it's tough, but I still like the flipping the bird and doing a lot of funny stuff. Eventually, hopefully, he breaks away. Tatum, just in case you didn't know, like sort of with the Kyle Fletcher stuff, they had like some travel issues a few weeks ago and put Fletcher in a match that didn't really fit, which sort of made him a babyface, even though he's in the heel group of the Callis family.
Right.
So then they sort of did that, and then because he saved Ospreay, but it's like, why would he save Ospreay? Ospreay's a good guy. They've already had their beef a little bit, and so now I think they're trying to reconcile that, and they're like, well, are we going to tease Fletcher leaving Callis family and just having Callis family be, I guess, basically just Takeshita? Or do we have do the hope for Ospreay and then Fletcher turns on Ospreay to solidify him as a heel? There's a bunch of places they're going to go with that, but it is a little in a weird spot where it's like, well, who are these guys supposed to be? But it's a hell of a trios.
Or do we kill the Callis family altogether by securing Fletcher with Ospreay, and they're going to be another tag team, and then Okada's like, fuck Young Bucks, because obviously fuck Young Bucks, and then him and Takeshita join forces as a tag team?
It's tough. It's interesting because they do tease Takeshita Okada a bunch, but they're both heels right now. I imagine that's all going to end up into the Continental Classic, the tournament, the American G1. I imagine that we're going to get Takeshita and Okada either in the same block trying to outcompete each other or in opposite blocks to eventually meet in the finals. Who knows? But yeah, a lot of guys in this match need a lot more from this company. They do nothing but deliver. So outside the Young Bucks and whatever they're doing with Okada, but like Okada can deliver whenever he wants, and the other three in Takeshita, Fletcher, and Ospreay over deliver for this company, frankly, in my opinion.
Yeah, and just to say from Final Wrestling Place, Tim, you're a crazy person if you think there's too much Will Ospreay. You're nuts. I love you. You're wrong.
He's off the Ospreay train?
He's getting Ospreay fatigue.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't you listen to Final Wrestling Place this week?
No, I've had COVID.
Oh, that's right.
I've been sleeping.
I didn't know that takes your hearing away.
I can't hear things while I sleep.
Okay.
Sadly. But Timsy, buddy, baby booby, we're on good terms, but this is a man who also had Ishii fatigue at one point. So he's sus.
Oh, he is sus. I mean, he's been sus, but
it's true.
Well, maybe that's a perfect time for the Tim Taylor question of the week.
I love that.
And now the Tim Taylor question of the week.
All right, what's Timsy got?
So he says, "Hey boys, didn't know that Tatum was going to be on. So hey boys and girl,
what a sexist piece of garbage.
Sorry to hear about your plight, dude. Hope you feel better in no time.
Thanks,
question:
buddy.
The new Dump Matsumoto series has officially been released. What would you recommend as companion viewing to get the depth of who Dump is? I may be able to talk my wife into this one, boys."
Nope.
Tim, I would suggest, and maybe there's a way to get you in the Discord. I think Mike might have a copy of it. The old Gaia Girls documentary. That if you want to see like a companion piece to this, I think that is the perfect companion piece to this.
As we record right now in the Discord, Mike is currently dropping dump recommendations and other Joshi recommendations. So there's a bunch in there also right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, credit to Mike. There is a lot of shit like during when he was doing the Pain Pig stuff.
And he did drop the Gaia Girls documentary in there also. Perfect.
So there was a lot of stuff during the pandemic when he was doing the Pain Pigs viewings on Twitch on Mondays, where he was showing a lot of Joshi stuff, which honestly, like, I hadn't seen, and it really like made me want to dive in that much further. So shout out to Mike for putting up all those links and everything. If I would watch that, and then, honestly, go to the Discord then and follow some of Mike's links.
Right. Chigusha Nagayo matches, the hair versus hair match is a huge one.
That's one of it's crazy on an emotional level.
Right. And I will warn you, though, and here's the thing. So Tatum, Netflix is doing a show about this 80s Japanese lady wrestler, Dump Matsumoto. One of the best heels in professional wrestling. So it's called, is it called Queen of, what's it called, Brett?
I forgot.
It's like Queen of Villains, I think.
I think that's it. Yeah.
So it dropped on Netflix today, and it's about her life. It's it's not a documentary. It's a drama about her life. And she was a crazy person and a wild villain in the 80s. But also there's a very famous clip where she stabs someone in the arm in a wrestling match with a pair of scissors, like a pair of shears. Like, just jams them into the arm, like 1.5 inches, like 2 inches in. Like, it's gross.
It's sick.
So, like, when Tim says, like, I might be able to get his partner into it, it's going to be rough because, like, she was gnarly. There's chains, there's blood. Like, this is Dump's fucking real. And Dump will get you. So, I'm super excited for the show.
I'll watch it.
But
hell yeah.
Women, the Joshi, the women's wrestling of All Japan women's of that era, is to this day outdoes a lot of men's wrestling in brutality and storytelling and emotion, and just like before dudes were rocking, these ladies were rocking.
Yeah, a lot of moves were stolen from a lot of All Japan women. So, Tim, thank you, Bubala.
Yeah.
You're the best, even though you have questionable opinions.
Right.
I love you so much, pal. Well, before we go overseas, Tatum, did you have any final thoughts on your experience?
I can't wait to do it again.
Okay.
And I'm not going to pay for tickets again.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I loved it. I was really excited to go. I knew that you guys were going, and while I secretly was really hoping for an invite, I was like, no, I'm gonna prove my mettle. I'm gonna get my own tickets. I'm gonna go on my own. I'm gonna this is a thing that I am going to do because I want to.
Tatum, I'll tell you, when you said you were going, you're always invited, right? That should never be a question. But going to a live wrestling event, it's a different experience, which I'm sure you.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm really happy that I got to have my first one, kind of, with but off to the side so that I could have my own experience as well and not informed by you guys, which all of this journey really has been. I've really just kind of peripherally been there and picked up on my things as I go along. And while you guys are like, hey, be a wrestling fan, and I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm a wrestling fan now.
Because wrestling's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But it has kind of been my own journey, and I will ask you guys when I want to know things and whatever, but I'm having my own experience, which I'm really enjoying about it as well.
And it's fantastic. When you said you were going, I was like, oh man, because I'm sick, and I'm like, oh, I want to take Tatum to her first show. I want to be there when I watch somebody experience live wrestling for the first time, because to me, it does not compare to TV wrestling.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I can say that.
So I think I could take Michelle, who hates wrestling, wink, to a live show, and she'd have a good time, because it is an event and it's a spectacle. And like, if we go to WWE again, like that's even a bigger animal, even different. But like, because that everything's bigger with them, the more fireworks, the more everything. But I'm really glad. Like, it's cool to know that like it's something that like, because Brett and I aren't gatekeepy. We really try not to be. We love wrestling,
not, which I really appreciate.
You know, we want other people to like the cool stuff that we like. So bring everybody to the table, and then we'll filter you out if we can, if you shit your pants. But like it's cool to know that like you are coming to wrestling as natural as someone who spends a fair amount of time with two people who are obsessed with wrestling can be.
Yes.
And I mean, it's not like this is the first time in my life that wrestling has been in my periphery.
Sure.
You know, I've had people in my life that were involved in some way or loved or were fans or whatever, and I have never been drawn to actually give a shit or try to like it.
And you do also, like, you did it earlier, but like you surprise me with what you catch on. So like, because Brett and I also aren't trying, like, while we're not being gatekeepy, we're also not going to like force you to like what we like or whatever. Like, everybody finds their own way. But like you pick up on the terms and like just everything. Like, you listen, you pay attention, you find it on your own, whether it's from us or Final Wrestling Place or other shows on the network. But like, it is really cool to watch you say some things and be like, you know, like if Brett says kayfabe, you sort of understand it, or you know, the little things like that. It's really it's cool to me. In a similar way, but like not the same, because like Brett is going through exposing his nephews to wrestling, and so he gets that outlet of like little kids watching, and that's a different energy level and a different thing, and that's like when Brett and I fell in love with it and got the bite in us that doesn't go away. But it's cool to see someone around that is finding it and loving it. Again, as natural of a way as you possibly can. Like, we're not telling you to like Orange Cassidy because he's awesome. You're like watching Orange Cassidy and you're like, oh, this guy is good. I get it. You know, you're already able to understand that like what being good in ring means, at least to you personally, in one way or the other. You have very good instincts, in my opinion, to that also. So it's really interesting to see all that, and it's fun to watch. So. But we're going to take you to some bad shows, and we're going to test your mettle for real.
Uh-huh.
We're going to take you to the gutters, the dregs of wrestling, and see if you're willing to hold on, man. In the bingo halls and the alleyways and the no air conditioning, and yeah, we're going to.
Bear in mind, my sister is a Muay Thai fighter, and when I go to see her, I leave with blood and maybe a part of somebody's ear on my person.
Okay, well, that's possible.
The dream. That's the dream.
That's possible at wrestling shows also. So, but yeah, anything else, you guys? I wasn't there, so whatever. The wrap up live from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. This is AEW.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blast. Again, thank you, Joe. You are the man. Appreciate you as always. For the hospitality. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Todd. I had a fucking blast as always. I love going, and it being right in your own backyard. It's the best. A home in 10 minutes, which was just such a treat.
Just a slightly less good time for you because I wasn't there, though, right?
I was getting to that.
But
relax.
Yeah, all right,
I did have Tatum there, though.
I did have. That's
I
true.
had Tatum. I had Jerry for a portion of the show from Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium.
Oh, that's right. Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium. I forgot about him.
Stan Malibu was in the house. No, man, I
Did
did.
Todd get to see Jerry?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
We were
good.
we got to.
Okay.
Yeah, we were hanging out during the
Right.
Rampage tape.
Tatum, you got to see Jerry?
I did.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, you didn't, and I'm sorry. And I texted you how bummed I was that you were missing it. You son of a bitch. I was like, damn, this sucks.
I tried so hard. Man. I slept 14 hours a day. I was taking medicine, like just do it fresh air. Like, I tried to boof sunlight. I was trying to figure anything I could. Horse paste. Well, I was out on the back porch, butthole to the sky, trying to absorb as much vitamin D as I possibly could get in there. And none of it
bleach
worked.
on your skin,
on my skin, in my skin, everything. I got horse paste in every orifice. But
and a blow dryer blowing it up your nose.
That's right.
Burn out the sickness.
It just none of it worked, and I felt pretty good yesterday. Still just a little bit of head stuffiness, but I'm not gonna be the one. I was waiting for a negative test, and I was gonna go masked up, but I ain't gonna risk anybody else's health. So that yes. And now I get to lick any surface I want for the next 6 months and not have to worry about disease. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
That is how that works.
I can directly lick or touch anything and put my fingers immediately in my mouth.
You might want to counsel your personal health representative, Doug, before you do that.
Okay. I mean, I did look up the CDC, which is the Center for Drug Control. But
that is true, yes.
Is there a center for that?
I'll have to check. But yeah, I'm glad you guys had a blast. Doug. I'm glad it was a good show. Cool for Wilkes-Barre. Man, it really is. I couldn't be happier that it was a good show. 20 minutes down the road, even though I didn't get to go. But I was bummed, but happy you guys were there, and that was, I only had to say the Serenity Prayer like twice to myself during the day, so it works out.
Oh man, oh no. Yeah, we were very bummed you weren't there. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's really what I wanted. I've been sitting here for an hour and a half, hour 45, just waiting for you to praise missing me. So that's all. Everything else can go to hell.
Yeah, there will definitely be so many more though, because now you fuckers cannot get rid of me.
That's fine. More than welcome. And we'll talk. Perfect. There's lots coming up. So Brett and I still have to buy our LVAC Steel tickets. Don't tell Joe. But if you want in for real, it's October 5th, I think, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
I know
October 5th.
It's October 5th. There you go.
That's the Saturday. So, and there'll be some people you recognize. Wheeler Yuta is going to be there.
Yeah,
I like him.
You can get your picture with him.
You can get your picture with Wheeler Yuta if you want.
And like Mercedes Martinez, who's in AEW, was in NXT, kind of, sort of. There's other people
Erica
there.
Lee.
I don't know who she is, but I'm happy that you ended that with Martinez and not.
How dare you before you even say it?
That's right.
Listen, I love you so much, Brett. I cannot stand Sasha.
CEO. I'm doing the dance.
If she was there last night, I was going to stand up and I was going to nail that day.
Oh, you would have crushed it.
I was.
My one regret of last night that she wasn't there.
That's right.
If she was there last night, I would have walked out to get a beverage and sent a video chat to Marcus about how I was getting a beverage because
the two biggest Mercedes
Sasha Banks
haters
was in the house.
All right. Well, if that's all you guys are done talking Wilkes-Barre. Tatum, you're going to stick around for our trip overseas?
Sure am.
All right. We're going to go on that right now. Hey, we made it. All three of us. Tatum came with us for the trip. Welcome to Japan by maybe way of Mexico. I don't know what Brett watched.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of shit. Well, not a bunch of shit, but a a healthy amount.
It wasn't a big week. I feel.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I didn't watch. I was sleeping, so I watched barely any. I watched today. Was the only time I watched anything outside of AEW. But I was looking, and it didn't look like anything too crazy and huge from like New Japan or anybody else.
No, it really wasn't. New Japan, they're on their destruction tour right now, so like
They're all 8-mans, 10-mans, yeah.
Yeah, you'll maybe get a match here or there that's worth checking out, but that's about it. So I guess I'll start. Did you watch anything from Pro Wrestling Noah?
Nope.
Okay. Kaito Kiyomiya versus Roihei Oiwa. This is Roihei Oiwa's official last match in Noah.
Yes.
So I don't know when he's going to go back to New Japan, but it's going to happen, I assume.
What a weird excursion. We talked about this before. It just makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, it's very weird. I thought it was a great follow-up to their match they had in the N1 last month.
That was a really good match. I just didn't have I don't have a half hour in me to watch Shining Wizards again while I have COVID.
Well, this wasn't a half hour, so.
Okay.
They beat the shit out of each other, which I love. Roihei Oiwa, man, I feel like he was getting almost like a bigger reaction in Korakuen than Kaito Kiyomiya was.
Oh boy.
Which that's not a good sign. But so obviously Kaito Kiyomiya wins, and at the end, Masa Kitamiya comes out to challenge him for the title.
I saw that. I'll watch.
Yeah. So interesting what's going to happen with Oiwa. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know where he fits in New Japan.
Yeah.
Noah is like taking such a loss by losing him.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens there.
Also, that match was 27 minutes.
Yeah, so it wasn't a half hour.
That's close enough. I round up.
Wrong.
All right.
So did you watch anything from Stardom?
I did.
All right.
I watched two things.
Okay, I probably guessing they're the same two things that I watched.
From
then.
Namba Grand Fight.
Yes.
Watched Natsupoi versus Hazuki.
Yes, for the white belt.
Yes. The Wonder of Stardom title match. Of course, I'm going to watch this. It's Natsupoi. I'm a Natsu boy. I'm also a big fan of Hazuki. And this was very good.
Yeah, dude. Hazuki's such she plays such a great challenger.
Yeah.
For titles. I hope she I don't know. I'd like to see them invest a little bit in her and have her take the next step.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's one of them that's like been there a while, and like the new generation will pass her by if they don't start deciding to do something with her. And I think she's perfectly worthy of it. She's very good.
Yeah, there was just no chance that Natsupoi was losing though.
No, and like there's a point in this match where Natsupoi is down on the ground, and Hazuki is just over the top of her, dropping forearms and elbows on the back of her head.
Damn right.
And I was like, oh my god, and she's like screaming.
Hazuki rocks.
And then Hazuki takes that top rope German later on her face. Like, she turns sideways and face first from a top rope German, which is a wild thing. So,
yeah, and then after the match, Natsupoi offers a handshake.
Oop. I lost you.
Where am I?
You said afterwards the handshake.
Okay, yes. Afterwards, the handshake deal happens, and Hazuki declines the handshake.
Oh, what a heel.
Is Hazuki gonna fall to the dark side of the hate faction?
Well, because then Thekla comes out. Did you see this?
Yes.
She comes out wearing Bullet Club War Dog stuff.
Yeah, she hangs out with all those dudes over there.
Good for those dudes. And
shout out Dwicky.
And she gives Natsupoi a hate flag.
See?
And Natsupoi throws it down.
She's trying to recruit.
Right. She throws it down. And I listen, I'm a Natsupoi. I don't want Natsupoi in hate.
No.
I want her beating up hate, because the one thing that Natsupoi does that I love is that she hurts people. Like, she beats people up. And it doesn't look like she's going to when she comes out, and she like looks delicate, and she's got like bedazzlement on her face. And then she just punches you, like, or kicks you in the face. She fucking rules. So
it's rad.
she's fucking awesome. I was very excited for this match. Natsupoi maybe my number one in Stardom. She's not the best wrestler because she's not Mayu Iwatani. But
well, there you go.
Natsupoi, I'm always like, I'm gonna watch Natsupoi.
How about Mayu Iwatani talking about she wants to come work in AEW?
Let's go.
Yeah, because she's working Tony Storm.
Yeah.
On an upcoming Stardom show, it's gonna be her and Tony over in Japan, and she said that she wants to come work AEW in America. So
yeah. Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Let's get everybody. Let's do it.
So the other match that I know that you watched would be for the red belt,
the World of Stardom title, correct?
Tam Nakano versus Micah.
My personal friend Tam. She wrote on a 8x10 and she loves me. She wrote it down.
Mm-hmm. So it was weird with like the circumstances, and Micah even brought this up in an interview where she said Tam lost all of her matches in the Grand Prix, yet she gets a title shot.
Right.
I won all of my matches in the Grand Prix to earn a title shot.
Yes.
So it is weird, like that dynamic of Tam just getting this for no reason.
I mean, it's an interesting attempt at Stardom to try and do like a storyline over work rate kind of thing, because Tam, while losing, there was like chatter and behind the scenes stuff with Hate and Tora. So like they were trying to do a story there, but also why do you then have that person lose every match?
Yeah, it doesn't
very
come off
odd,
well, right?
It's odd, and while I don't like Tam's champ and I love Tam, so I'm not like upset about it. But I can see the thought process of like, let's try and shake something up out of these tournaments. And I don't know how the reaction to Tora as champion was. So maybe that experiment didn't work so well. So you slot in like babyface Tam very easily. I don't know, but it is weird.
Yeah, part of me like wanted Micah to just kind of like smash through her. I thought that would have been pretty sick.
Yeah, and I mean, and she does beat her ass. Like,
yeah, for the majority of this match. So okay, and I'm gonna sound like such a crotchety old man during this.
Okay.
So there's a spot where Tam gets like thrown over the top rope with like a German, and her knee lands and hits the apron, and she's selling the knee.
And the doctor holds Micah off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, completely forgets about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm kind of an apologist for that stuff. For some reason, this bothered the shit.
When it was happening, I was like, is Tam faking this? Like, is this Tam a tactic? Like, I was very confused as to whether or not we were supposed to believe it was real, or if we were supposed to believe that Tam was faking it to get a break. But she's a babyface, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Weird spots. But I will tell you what I did like in this match a lot is they both back to back Irish whipped each other into the seats, and both times came out of it just swinging at each other.
So I'm fine with them just swinging at each other, but like I feel that's getting to be like a tired ass spot.
Yeah, I guess they do it a bit.
You know,
I like when Micah threw Tam and Tam just popped right up. Like, I got fired up because it was like kicking out at one from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I like that got me fired up because I was like, yeah, get her, and then forearm bombs. But yeah, I mean, Joshi as a whole, I guess even lately, a lot of New Japan's been doing a lot of move, and throw them into the chairs kind of stuff.
Yeah, it just seems like, and it's again, I feel like I'm like sounding like a crotchety old man.
Yeah.
Another thing in Stardom or in Joshi, really, I guess in general, that I don't care for is when somebody dives off the top rope to the outside and lands on like 7 people.
All the wrestlers who are there to help and the ring attendants are holding up the one person. Yeah, that's weird too.
It annoys me.
I get it because I bet you it saves a lot of people from injury.
But every fucking time.
Right, but every time, and it's always the same dive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, and also, again, like, not devil's advocate, but like, going to a live show, that's a cool experience, right? If you're going to see Stardom and they move you out of the way and the wrestler gets thrown through your seat, like if you go to anywhere, like that's cool for a wrestling show, right? And when you see big dives like that live, you're like, oh, that's cool. But people going to these shows aren't going every day or twice a week like we're watching. So I'm wondering if Stardom is sort of like, well, we're doing this, like our mind frame, their mind frame is this is for the live show people, and the at home people could just fucking deal with it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm wondering if that's where their thought process is, because they do spam the shit out of that stuff.
Yeah, and like the more I watch, the more like it just annoys me a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Brett hates women's wrestling. You've heard it here first.
Yeah, I didn't just praise the Sky Bianca Belair or anything, right?
That was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately, pal?
What I've done for you lately is talk about.
It's okay. I'm still here.
What do you want, Tatum? You can chime in anytime you want.
Yeah, anything you want to say.
How do you feel
I
about
just
Sam
meant
knocking
because since Brett hates it, it's okay. I'm here.
Yes. Did you watch anything from Marigold?
I did. I watched 2 matches from day 4 of Marigold.
There we go. Perfect. So did I. What'd you watch?
I started with Miku Ano versus Sari.
Same.
I guess that's a spoiler. Time limit draw, 15 minutes. They went the distance, daddy.
Yeah, so this is their Dreamstar Grand Prix, which is kind of like their attempt at a G1-ish.
Sure.
They
don't have the roster for it, but that's okay.
Honestly,
neither did New Japan.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to this at all. Really, nothing's been popping up. Also, I'm mad at the fact that Bozilla just hasn't beaten everybody in 3 seconds.
Yeah, why isn't she champion?
She should hold both belts.
She was the talk of the town, and now they're just like mid-carding her to nothing.
So I did like this, 15-minute time limit. This is your 2 champions in your company.
Yes.
I thought Sari looked so dominant like throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
And like the story was definitely Miku's just trying to hang with her to show she's worthy.
Right.
And I mean, she hangs with her, gets a 15-minute time limit draw. So
yeah,
I think that was a good job building her up.
Sari does an arm capture Muto lock in this. That I thought was one of the coolest fucking things.
Yeah.
And then they just get straight up mean. Like they are mean to each other in this match. Like I'm not sure they're friends. Sometimes I'm like, when you watch wrestling, I'm like, oh, these people are beating each other up so much. Like, clearly they get along, that they trust each other to do this. These 2 went beyond that, and like how a conservative goes far enough right and they become a socialist. They went so far around like, oh, they probably friends to, no, they hate each other if they're beating each other up this hard. So,
yeah, I thought it was very sick.
A lot of fun. And I almost so desperately, Marigold doesn't really have a ton of their themes online. And I wanted to use Sari's theme.
Her theme's awesome.
I know. And then I almost, as a rib, used Saray from NXT's theme.
Don't you dare.
So, Tatum, if you're still there and listening, Sari, who is in Marigold, is their champion, was maybe 1 or 2 best Japanese women's wrestler, and decided she wanted to go to NXT and sign with WWE. And they brought her in, and they couldn't figure out what to do with her. And in 3 months, they made her a Harry Potter character. She was like a wizard girl with round Harry Potter glasses and a schoolgirl uniform. And then she was like, "Can I leave?" And they were like, "Yeah." We're kind of sorry.
Yeah, same. I would have said the exact same thing. Like, Are you kidding? This is the extent of your creativity for this?
Yeah, she was a magical Japanese lady. Not a magical sugar rabbit. That's different.
No, that's completely different and perfectly acceptable.
Absolutely.
It made me.
That's Yuka's name if you didn't know, Tatum.
What?
She's 1/2 of the magical sugar rabbit.
Yes. Yuka Sakazaki's tag team in Japan are the Magical Sugar Rabbits.
There are so many innuendos packed into that.
Sure.
Damn right there is.
But yes, this match was awesome. Sari is great. Miku also great, but Sari is the dominant she is. If anybody can come at Mayu at this point in Joshi wrestling, it's Sari. It's just what it is. She's so good to watch.
Agreed, man, 100%. Other match definitely watched was Mirai versus Utami Hayashishita.
Right, I'm a big Mirai fan. You're a big Hayashishita fan.
Yeah,
I mean, we both like them both, obviously, but like, if there's two to pick, like, I'm more of a Mirai dude.
Yeah. So like, I thought this was very good.
Yes.
I thought they definitely beat each other's asses, and they looked like they were trying to kill each other at points.
But hard to follow. I feel how good the Saray match was.
Dude, I'm so happy you said that, because I was in the same boat.
This is tough to follow.
Yeah,
they tried, but
they did their best. It just didn't, like, almost like the crowd was taken out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that happens too. Think about watching AEW when we watched, Ospreay. It was Ospreay Takeshita, right, or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the show, like, it stinks. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I did like it though. I thought
it's still really good.
I thought it was very good, but I'm very happy you said that, because I was thinking the same exact
hard to follow
thing.
There's a point in this match right at the end, and I didn't know it was the end when I was watching it, obviously. But Mirai throws like a flying lariat, and I was like, that fucking sucked. I was like, get out of here. Like, I love Mirai. Like,
don't ever do that again.
I love her is because of her lariats. She throws them fucking hard, and she throws like the lame-assed, like, cane flying forearm lariat, and I was like, that sucked. Gets up, turns around, and kills Hayashishita.
She sure did.
with a regular lariat. Took her fucking head off for the finish, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Okay.
No harm, no foul here. We're back where we're supposed to be. That was a momentary lapse in judgment. You knew it, and to make up for it, you just threw the last one. Eyes closed, Stan Hansen praying for the best.
What a pro.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a pro. So that's all for Japan, but we did have one more international show to talk about.
You have an international show to talk about, sir.
Oh, you didn't watch this?
I did not.
Oh, what a bum you are.
I know, sorry.
The CMLL 91st Anniversario.
I couldn't handle any more Jericho. I'm sorry.
I'm not even talking about Jericho.
I know, I'm teasing.
The Mask versus Mask 4-way.
Yes.
Between Esfinge, Hechicero, Valiente, and Euphoria.
Esfinge. I like Esfinge.
This was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It was great from the beginning, but okay, and listen, if anybody's listening to this, please, Lucha is my blind spot. I've been very open about that.
Mm-hmm.
If someone can explain to me, so this is a 4-way elimination match. Hechicero gets a fall over, I think it was Esfinge, and then Euphoria gets a fall over Valiente, or vice versa, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But then the final two that come down to it are Euphoria versus Hechicero.
Oh.
You would, in my normal wrestling thinking brain, I think, it's the two guys who lose. They're the ones that, or like the two guys that get pinned, they're the ones who are going to have to fight for their masks now.
Yeah,
but it was Hechicero and Euphoria that were fighting over their masks.
I was saying, because if it's elimination style, 3 guys should be losing masks here.
Like, so that's where I was like, okay. I was going to ask in the Discord, but I was like, let's just see if somebody will listen to this and address me.
Because, like, wrestling strategy-wise, if I'm in a mask match that's a 4-way,
pin me.
And only the last guy that like gets pinned loses the mask, I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna be the first guy to get pinned and just go home face covered.
Yeah, and you would think like, okay, so a guy gets a pin over somebody, and that guy, like, the guy who gets the pin, he's out of the match.
Yeah.
You know? No, that's not the way that worked.
Okay.
And again, and we were talking about it a little bit yesterday with WWE, they put up the Gringo Locos versus Octagon and El Hijo del Santo match on the Vault page.
Yeah.
And, we were talking, and I was reading comments where, like, people were confused about, like, the rules. So It was like a best out of 2 out of 3 falls match, hair versus mask, but you had to beat both guys on the team in order to get one fall.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
and it's a lot of like, it's just stuff with Lucha that I just don't know. And
Right.
I'm very admittedly, it's a blind spot. I've been trying to learn more just because like I have been watching more Lucha than ever like
Sure.
this year.
Yeah.
Particularly in part because of Hechicero.
He's
Dude,
the coolest, man.
Hechicero is
He gets hurt
such-
here, though, right?
Yeah, so I didn't see it, but Dan pointed it out that he got hurt. I just
Okay.
didn't see when it happened. So,
Hmm.
Dan, if you could, tell me when it happens. It's so like, so when it's the 4 of them, it's like, it's great. But when it comes down to Hechicero and Euphoria, it just like turns up a notch.
Yeah.
And it is so goddamn good.
Cool.
I loved watching it. Hechicero is such a star. The crowd at Arena Mexico is going crazy for him.
Yeah.
He gets the win. So then Euphoria has to unmask after the match. Listen, this is in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but the emotion comes right through the screen, brother.
Sure.
Euphoria had some
And
stable
sister.
makeup. Yes, and sister.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
And also,
welcome.
I do speak Spanish, so you better get this right.
Are we gonna have to watch CMLL together now, and you can tell me what's happening?
Mhm.
100%.
Let's go. So like his stablemates come out with him and they're hugging him and stuff, and he's cutting a promo and they loosen the mask and he rips the mask off, and it's just like people are crying in the crowd, and he raises Hechicero's hand to kind of give him the rub a little bit, and yeah, man, oh my god, this was so fucking good.
Yeah.
I loved this so much.
Oh,
It was
good.
it was just action from the bell ring to the bell ring. It was just insane, and I loved it a ton. And Hechicero is like such a breakout this year for me. Like,
Yeah,
us
absolutely.
getting like exposed to him.
Mhm.
I love that guy. Oh my god, he is so good.
It's crazy because, like, if you think about like the juniors tournament when we saw like Templario and Soberano for the first time, and we were like, look at these guys.
Yeah,
Hechicero out overshadows all those dudes for me. Like,
easily.
what a guy. He's he might be the coolest looking wrestler on the planet. Like, his mask is cool, his gear is cool. He's like built like a brick shit house. He doesn't wrestle the way you think he's gonna wrestle.
Not
Like,
at all.
Yeah, that dude is just super impressive to me. So same thing with, like you said, like breakout, maybe the breakout star this year for me, for real. Just wild dude. Just awesome.
Dude, like, so even in this match, he's doing like springboard dives.
Yeah.
He does a running dive off of the apron, and Euphoria was draped over the guardrail.
Mhm.
And Hechicero goes to drop kick him, and Euphoria moves, and Hechicero's both legs just land in the crowd, and like his like ass is on the guardrail. It's just like,
Oh.
how did you not just break your tailbone? Like,
Right.
it looked gnarly.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, maybe that's where he got hurt. I don't know. 'Cause
Maybe.
I would have broke myself.
No,
but
it's his tricep, I think. Because I think I read today that he's not going to get surgery. He's gonna Tanahashi it.
oh man,
Just gonna rehab it.
that scares me. But
But
hey,
you're hot. You're riding that lightning bolt, brother. You're like,
yeah, I
you
know,
don't
but
want to take 3 to 6 to heal a bicep.
yeah, but man,
Yeah, and they don't
That's
really
fair.
have like, a union or anything to
Yeah,
be able to.
I don't know
I don't know how it is down
Yeah.
for Mexico. That may be
Lucha
completely different.
I'm the most ignorant to how all that works. I just don't know. So like, but
So I did look up a luchador's 4-way match
mhm.
and like how it works and whatever, because what were you saying, Brett? Like, it seemed like it should have been over,
So-
but it wasn't, or whatever. So they don't have to tag.
No.
They don't have to tag each other. They just have to like touch the ground outside.
No, but it wasn't a tag match. It was it was 4-way. It was 1-on-1 and 1-on-1.
Yeah, so it's 4 guys against each other, and it wasn't a tag match. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, tag matches. Yeah, I know the rules when it comes to that.
Yeah,
But
Chikara
yeah.
used to do that, the lucha tag. AEW does lucha tag rules sometimes. But since this was hair or mask versus mask,
Oh,
Four-way.
and then whoever like loses first has to unmask.
Right, but that's not how it happened.
Yeah, so it was just like an elimination match. It was just very weird. Like,
Yeah.
like I
This
don't know.
is a fatal 4-way.
So it was an elimination style. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like
Okay.
first guy that it wasn't like first guy that gets pinned loses and that's it. It was like first guy that gets pins is then just eliminated from the match and goes to the back. It was weird. Yeah, I don't know. And again, I'm very ignorant to it, and I apologize if I sound like a complete moron to
I
people
bet
that
you-
understand it. But
I wonder if Lucha Blog explained it in real time. He might have.
yeah, that's
Well,
possible.
I know what I'm gonna deep dive on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Something that nobody needs to deep dive on though was the main event of this show. And that was Mystico versus El Corazon de Leon, Chris Jericho.
Ew, I'm sorry. What did you just tell me that his name is there?
Yeah, El Corazon de Leon.
Fuck this guy
He was
all the way to hell.
when he started in the U.S., he was Lionheart Chris Jericho first.
Yeah.
Right, so which is why he...
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
His finisher, the Walls of Jericho, used to be called the Lion Tamer.
Ay, Dios mío.
He once one of his action figures once came with a lion, a whip, and a chair.
I cannot hate this man more.
So Tatum, I shouldn't get you the El Corazon de Leon Chris Jericho figure AEW made.
Too late.
I swear to God, Brett.
Merry Christmas.
I swear to God.
Yeah. Back
I
when
don't want any figures.
the thing about Jericho is that he is an all-time great, Tatum, and you may not believe it.
No,
But,
I
like,
do believe it
one
because
of the
I
best
was
ever.
a child in the 90s with
Yeah,
family members who
but-
watched. I peripherally remember.
But when he was Lionheart, very young, he was amazing.
The best. He was one of my favorites.
Yep.
I get it. I understand that. I can understand that. However, today,
Mm-hmm.
there is no apologies and no excuse for the Jericho that exists in this moment.
I do agree with that.
I'm comfortable with that.
And this match is a perfect testament to it.
Yeah,
It's
please
just
tell me about it.
it's sad to watch. It's just like it's awkward. It's so poorly paced. Jericho can't take the moves. There's the one clip that goes around to the finish where
It's terrible. It's the only thing I've
yeah,
seen.
Mystico, he does this like kind of tilt-a-whirl around the shoulders, and you're supposed to land face first on the mat, and then he cranks your arm for a submission, and that just doesn't happen. Jericho he looks like he's moving underwater. It was just like Jericho needs to go. I'm sorry. He looked like he gave like negative fucks in this match. It's just sad. It was actually just sad to watch. And then it's so funny though, because like then you watch him last night, and it's like against Orange Cassidy, and you go, oh, like he looks slow, but he could still do the lion salt, and it looked fine.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it's just, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, Mystico 2, and I was like, nah, dog, I'm putting this one on Chris Jericho. Like, he just, oh my god, he was just not. It was terrible.
DJ just sent this to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to fully watch it.
He looks so slow.
Yeah.
Like he's just
So bad.
he can't take the moves, and it just was like, yo, this is your 91st anniversary show. Like you would think both companies are working together. You want to make this a big deal. And listen, I get it. CMLL, they consider Jericho as like one of their biggest stars to ever come out of there, and he is. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's 2024 though.
2024 Jericho's a different animal. It just, you can't anymore. It's almost a different section of human. You have to cut him off and say like it's a different guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I feel like in any industry, not just wrestling, can you guys hear my weird cat making noises?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. No, it's not a bother though. You're good.
No, you're fine.
So it
No.
is no less loud than Ripley in the background chasing
boy.
toys or Bugsy audibly farting into Brett's microphone. So we're good.
It's true.
The dog
Okay.
farts I have to edit out of this show, you will be amazed at.
It's a fact.
I mean, having been present for some of them for Wings on Wings,
Oh,
Right.
room clearers.
room clearers.
That's my puppy.
Okay, wait, where was I in my moment?
Sorry, threw you off. Something about Jericho. I said Jericho has to be considered a different guy now.
Okay, sure. But there has to be a moment it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what your career is. It doesn't matter. You will hit a moment where you decide you're going to truly become a mentor, or you are really too good to retire, or you are lying to yourself so much that you think that you are still relevant.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have so far surpassed that moment with Jericho.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Jericho purposefully does not want to be a mentor.
I don't think that he should be a mentor, because I don't think that he would be a good mentor. Okay, so we've got Hook,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who I think has split and is on his way to doing good things. Granted, I get it. Taz is his dad, whatever.
That's right, brother.
We've got Big Bill, who probably doesn't need a mentor like Jericho. He could have any kind of mentor that would get him anywhere,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that other bitch's name?
Brian Keith.
That
Yeah.
other bitch's name.
That other bitch, Brian Keith. You knew it. You were there.
Yeah. Yeah, watch for him on Rampage.
Oh, holy shit.
No, it was a good match. Him and Mark Briscoe was actually
Yeah?
really
Oh,
good.
all right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was him
yeah.
and Mark Briscoe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
I
Watch
thought
it.
she was ribbing him for
No.
only being on Rampage.
No, it was a good match.
No, I wasn't
thought
being
she
a
just
dick.
got the shovel out and she was like, fuck this dude. Like, we're burying somebody.
No, I mean, like,
Right.
fuck this dude because he chooses to align himself with Jericho, and who does that in their right mind? Darcy, I'm talking directly to you.
Uh-huh.
Is align the right word for that?
What?
Is align the right word for that?
There's a line formed.
Yeah, horizontal.
I don't know. I feel like maybe something happened along the way that he couldn't properly retire. I don't know. But, like, I can't imagine with decades of merch and licensing and whatever that you couldn't just properly take your bow, walk away, and do commentating here and there like a respectable person. Like,
he's actively said that he still thinks why would he retire when he's as good as he is, which is hilarious.
so
But-
this is exactly what I just said,
Yeah,
right?
right. 100%. You nailed it. But also, people talk about this all the time, is that the wake of wrestlers left behind after being attached to or feuding with Jericho in AEW is deep and wide. And everybody has a recovery period after it. This is his second feud with Orange Cassidy that they had to revisit 4 years after. But he's draining people left and right in that company. But again, Wilkes-Barre, you said earlier, had Jericho fans. Jerichoholics were out. So, it is a, I don't know, a double-edged sword. I don't know if that makes any sense because the one edge is very, very dull. But he is still a dude that people see and remember. And even 5 years ago, Jericho Jericho isn't Jericho, right? AEW doesn't necessarily get TV without Chris Jericho. I think it'd be a hell of a lot tougher. But even that Chris Jericho, I feel, is a world different than the Jericho we have now.
It definitely is.
The pandemic hurt him like it did a lot of other people. Not that he got COVID or I don't know any of that, but like.
Listen, it fucked all of our mental health.
Right. And
no matter what,
but
it fucked everybody's mental health. But
5 years ago, Jericho is a different animal from now. 25 years Jericho from now, like 25 years ago, Jericho to now is unrecognizable. If he didn't still look so similar, like people would be like, that's not the same guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
Intellectually, I understand that. However, like, come on, fucking, let's be done, man.
Yep,
Nope.
I agree.
I agree.
Especially after
You nailed
watching this match, it was like,
it is further hurting. Like, at what point are you not going to recognize that you are further hurting the industry that you love so much when you're refusing to leave and let the new guard take over?
So this was the old thing with Chris Jericho. He used to take breaks. He used to know when he kind of burned out his welcome, and he knew, okay, time for me to go away, do a Fozzy record or whatever, or just take a break. And like he knew, and that's why he was always revered as one of the smartest dudes, because he always knew when the time was for him to take a break and take a step back. Now
this is one of the things that I kind of peripherally know from you guys, is that he was that person. And since I have been involved, his time is past due since the moment I saw him. And this is only a year and a half in.
Yeah, I mean, and now the thing is too, like, he's been on TV for 5 years straight, basically, and has taken very little time off.
Yep.
And I don't think he's ever had a run where he went 5 years straight. So,
no.
It's just kind of like, okay, like, that's why people want you to go away. You reinvent yourself. How could you miss me if I never leave? You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this match was the absolute drizzlings. It sucked. And this was one where I was like, okay, I have to see if it's as bad as people are saying it is. Yeah, it's as bad as people were saying it was. It's stinky doo-doo.
And then, like, and again, to bring it back up with Jericho too, then you look at like his Orange Cassidy match, which was fine, right? Not great, but fine. In 25 minutes, and then it's like, well, is he picking and choosing when to show up?
Yes.
Because nothing is bad. Nothing looked as bad in the Orange Cassidy match as those couple of Mystico clips. So, like, what is it? Is Orange Cassidy that easy to work with? Or
I don't know.
Is Jericho picking and choosing when?
I don't know, because I do know a little bit about Mysterio as well, and I do enjoy Mysterio.
Mystico.
What?
Mystico.
Oh, Mystico. Wait, who is this?
Mystico.
Oh, so this is somebody different than I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
God bless.
You're
God
thinking
bless
Rey
your,
Mysterio,
bless your sweet,
who
sweet
has
heart.
a long history with Jericho. So I can see the confusion, but no, this match is against Mystico.
And now,
okay. Well, thank God I'm pretty.
now listen though, Mystico, like, he also has a bit of a reputation at times,
right?
Of
that's true,
of shutting it down.
Yes.
But I just don't think that this was one of them.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio is still out there, Tatum, in your defense, having very good matches.
I love Rey Mysterio.
Me as well.
But this is different guy, yeah. So yeah, Mystico does have a reputation
never
of being a bit
mind.
of a
But
crab
yeah,
ass also.
I think that he was showing up based on what the audience was going to be and where.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
it's tough though, because like you would think Jericho wants to put on a good show down in Mexico.
Right.
Like, you know, this is like the town where he really cut his teeth.
Right.
I don't think he gives a fuck about that.
Well, and people can not have chemistry
Absolutely.
No,
There's negative chemistry.
and that could be the big thing here, and then that demoralizes Jericho even more. I think Jericho was in the WWE when that Mystico was too, right? So
Yeah, he sure was.
who knows what if there was backstory there, or if Jericho's like, yeah, fuck this kid, fuck this dude, whatever. But Tatum, aside from the Mysterio thing, you nailed Jericho exactly. That's who he seems to be and is in 2024.
Yeah, I hate him.
That's all that I had.
That's it.
So, DJ, what were your favorite matches that you watched?
Oh, jeez. Well, since I watched so many, from the United States of America, it's got to be the tag team match, the Elite versus Takeshita, Fletcher, and Ospreay, live from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And from the wonderful world of Japan, I am going. That one's close, but I'm going to eke out Natsupoi Hazuki over Sarai Miku, but very, very close together. Very, very close.
There you go.
Two kinds of matches.
Tatum, what was your favorite match that you watched this week?
My favorite match that I watched this week was also the 3-on-3. But my favorite moment was watching Mox walk in.
Yo, what a handsome dude, right?
Right.
I mean,
yes.
He's just perfectly hot and aggressive. It's the perfect balance.
He knows who the fuck he is.
He knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah. He used to do cocaine and go to the library.
Renee.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Renee, that's right.
Mr. Renee really is just
I forgot about Mr. Renee.
What a couple.
Seriously, what a couple.
What a fucking couple.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a great couple.
Absolutely.
They're royalty.
Absolutely.
Great.
So my favorite from the States was definitely the 6-man main event from Dynamite. How could it not be? I know the Bucks were in there and they didn't do anything too egregious. I just was enjoying the comments from the crowd of being like, oh, they only wear their vests so they don't have to work out their core anymore. They can start covering their fat bellies.
It's true.
And from international, I'm definitely going that 4-way mask versus mask match from CMLL. It was just so goddamn good, and Hechicero is such a pleasure to watch.
Excellent.
Really, all of them were, but man, that guy is just so good. I love watching him.
Yeah.
That was my favorite too. Hedgestero is so good, but Mysterio was the best in that match.
You love Mysterio. That's hilarious.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me, Father Joe, for I have sinned.
Joe ain't gonna know either.
Nah,
Joe knows it's Mystico.
A little bit. Okay. Brett, you buy anything, buddy?
Did I buy anything? No. And you know what?
How was the merch?
I didn't. You know what, dude? Didn't even go look. So it was set up in section 102, and that was like when you walk into the arena and you go right, it was all the way down the end of the corridor. So we got there and like it was a madhouse down there, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go look.
That's fair.
Adam went and looked. He said there was a lot of those like event exclusive Will Ospreay brawlers still left.
Oh, okay.
A lot of signed figures there. From what I could see, there was like the Will Ospreay soccer jersey, a Darby Allin shirt, an OC shirt. But I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't need any of this. Now, if they had the Outrunners meat spin shirt, I would have bought it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, no. I didn't buy anything this week. Nothing at all, actually.
Yeah. Me either. Medicine, Gatorade, horse paste. Tatum, buy anything wrestling related?
My cats wrestle, so I got a
second
box.
You should have got a I Was There AEW shirt.
You should have.
I was there in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
I didn't.
Tatum is all elite now.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, Tatum is all elite. Like
and shit like the rest of us.
I have decided, like, now I haven't really watched much New Japan, and I might really enjoy it, but I have decided that I am an All Elite girl.
Okay.
So so it's in a couple months for New Japan. The beginning of January is their biggest shows of the year. So I'm gonna be kind of curious to see if you want to pick out anything at that point if you still like wrestling. Because those are the big ones. Those are the ones that are in the Tokyo Dome. Night 1 is just like a New Japan show, but night 2 it's called Wrestle Dynasty. It's like New Japan, AEW, CMLL, Stardom. It's like all different promotions together. So I'm gonna be intrigued to see if maybe you are interested in anything from that. That'll be fun to revisit when the time comes.
Yeah.
You mean interested in anything as in
do
I like them, or interested in anything like opportunities?
No opportunities. That's for the Royal Rumble. There's that word again. No, this is more so to be like, oh, what's like, because you brought up New Japan and like, oh,
it's their WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's basically their WrestleMania. So like, this is where the big things or the big matches are supposed to happen, you know. So see if like anything grabs your attention around then. I'd be very curious to see.
Will Takeshita be there?
There's a possibility.
A big possibility. Because it's a big show. So
yeah.
Awesome.
All right, let's get out of here. This has been a long ass podcast.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me again.
Of course.
I am going to, now that Wings on Wings is going to be coming to a close in just a few short weeks.
Almost. Sorry to interrupt, but if you're listening to this right now, don't expect the Wings on Wings episode on Tuesday because Michelle and I got COVID, so that's gonna delay things. Sorry.
Which thankfully, because we have something special in the works for the finale of Wings on Wings. But now that it's coming to a close, I am going to muscle my way onto this podcast as many times as I can. And coming soon to the soon-to-be-named network, Tatum's Takes on wrestling bullshit. I'm not sure if that's really a thing, but...
So do not put things like that in the ether. It will happen, and you'll be like, why did I ever say that out loud?
Yep.
There's a group of people that only know Michelle as the Royal Rumbler.
No, I know. There's a group of people who only knew me as Big Tates.
That's true.
That is true.
Thanks, Brett.
But
you're welcome, bud.
Anytime you want to come on, you let us know. You're more than welcome. Even if you just wanted to send a voice memo or pop in for a segment or whatever, you're more than welcome.
Would I be allowed a 2-part question?
No. Sadly, no one is allowed a 2-part question on this show. But yeah, if we could be talked into Tatum's Takes being a segment of the show. But thank you for being here on this long ass show. I thought this show was going to be half the length. I was like, we're going to talk for a little bit. There's not much to talk about. And then we got rolling, and I had a blast. I haven't seen anybody in a long time. So that's been weird. We've just been isolated. So it's good to get on here and talk for as long as we did and have a great talk about wrestling. And I couldn't be happier that you got to experience your first live wrestling show in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, of all places.
That's right.
It was so great.
Hell yeah. That makes me very happy that you had fun.
Yeah. That being said, if you want to find more fun, you can find it online at WeNeedWrestling.com, at our social media at WeNeedWrestling. You can email the show at WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com. We are a proud member of the soon-to-be-named network, STBN Network on Twitter, soon-to-be-named network.tumblr.com on the internets, home of a whole bunch of other shows, Final Wrestling Place, At Odds with Wrestling, at Todd's with Wrestling, maybe.
Oh,
now that
Todd is also all elite now.
Todd's a confirmed all elite pants shitter. Puzzle Warriors 3, Longbox Heroes After Dark, Profane Arguments, our other show, Wings on Wings, as Tatum mentioned, which is winding down. And yeah, so check all them out, and we'll be back next week where I can see Brett in person because I'll be over COVID by then.
And it'll also be someone's birthday.
Oh, whose birthday? Tatum, is your birthday next week?
Oh, no, mine was the week after Michelle's. It might be yours.
Oh, is it mine? Huh. Who'd have thunk?
Who's the birthday boy?
Welcome
29
to
again.
40.
What are the odds? But all right, that's it. Goodbye. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Later, bitches.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!